first off, you add flour, then you add eggs, then you add milk, then you add butter, then you add cake mix, then you throw it out because you fucked it up, and you order it from a bakery. That's how life happens.
The atheist argument from the cake, ladies and gentlemen.
The dreaded code.
Drawings. But oh wait, the gays. Can he build a table? Then he's not worth it to me. He's not a man. He's a little pussy. It's complicated. Ergo, God.
Fantastic tables and where to find them.
Fantastic tables and where to find them. Okay. All right. We should be good to go now. Though I need to take these down. Ah, there we are. All right, Logan, you still with us?
No.
You're not. Well, I must be going fucking crazy then, because I'm hearing voices.
Well, you do think the Earth is flat, so.
Oh, we'll be getting to flat earthers, don't worry. You're gonna... Okay, so guys, I did have an amazing flat earth video for today's show, and today's theme is crazy people, by the way. So you know it's gonna be fun. I did have an insane flat Earth video, but it got taken down today. So unfortunately, we won't be covering that one. So I went with a more typical flat Earth video. But it's got plenty of arguments in it from what I saw. So we'll still have a lot to play with, at the very least. All right, how are you guys doing in chat? I know we've got the nameless person here so far. Nameless person and a few bots. But we'll see. Oh, and I guess Logan's there too. Hi, Logan. Still there, buddy?
No.
Okay. Mata. Quote the Lion King on your own time.
I'm sorry, I'm busy watching a Bloodborne boss fight.
Oh, well, I'm sorry the show's not as important as Bloodborne.
I mean, not until you start the video, and quite
Mom, on
frankly, I
TV.
don't care what flat earthers have to say, because for some reason, out of every astral body that exists in the solar system alone, somehow the Earth is a fucking space cookie. It's like the moon, round, the sun, round, Uranus. We'll get to that later. Everything is spherical, or at least close to it. I mean, we're kind of like an oval, but that's not the point. But somehow the Earth is just magically Asgard, where it's just a floating fucking space rock with chocolate chips.
We didn't even start the video. Oh god, I'm so glad that's last on the list.
Oh my god.
The anticipation just from that. Bro, thank you. Oh, and we don't do sound commands on V.A.S.T nights. Just because it's more of a talk show kind of thing.
I also just don't do commands, because fuck you, don't tell me what to do.
Okay, let's see. We've got... Oh yeah, Jamie's here, and Jamie dropped us a host. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see. Hello, Jerfy. It's my birthday today, officially 21. Hey, happy birthday, man. Everything you were already doing is now legal. See, how's it going? We're doing pretty well. We're going to be covering crazy people tonight, and I like to think I have a decent variety. We don't have too many videos tonight. We've got 3 videos, an article, and then a slightly different kind of segment that I want to try out.
Which will stretch out to 5 hours.
Oh, of course. Oh, of course. All right, so our first thing, once I share this screen with you.
Thank you.
And let's hope that doesn't blow up. All right.
Oh, don't worry, it'll just go straight to your thighs.
And then you'll blow up. Okay, so our first thing tonight is actually an article.
Hold on.
For those of you that may not have heard, it's slightly old news now. Wait, what's going on?
Oh, I said, for those of you who may not have heard, the bird is most definitely the word.
That is true. But also, Alex Jones has been banned on a ton of social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. Those of you who don't know who Alex Jones is, he's kind of a conspiracy nut. He's the one that, you know what? I have a few of his sound clips right here, actually. He's the one that gave us such gems as...
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water.
I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer. I'm a human, and I'm coming.
I like to eat. Let's see, what was the other one? Oh, the tap water. Here we go.
What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby.
But yeah, it's kind of a conspiracy nut. He's pretty funny. But he was banned across a shit ton of social media platforms, except for Twitter, until recently. Let's see. Twitter finally acts on Alex Jones by banning InfoWars host for just a week and still keeping his tweets up. So it's a temporary... They temporarily put him into read-only mode.
For what?
Let's find out. Do you want to read or do you want me to read?
You can read.
Okay. Let's see. That nameless person says, to be honest, Alex Jones is kind of stupid and insane. Yeah, that's why I like him. I think he's great. He's fucking hilarious. if you go to him for like actual news, you might have issues. But if you're going to him just strictly for entertainment, he's a wellspring.
You know, I can't deny that.
Oh yeah,
Man's
like
a dumbass, but it's kind of what's the word? I just like listening to him.
yeah, he's got a really great voice for what he does, and it's kind of up in the air whether or not he actually believes the shit he's saying or how much he believes it anyway.
I would like to think he doesn't, but
yeah,
I know people.
He said in a few court cases where he was fighting for rights to his kids and everything. They brought up the crazy shit he said on a show, and he was saying that he's playing a character, so it's kind of up in the air whether he just said that so he didn't look crazy to them, or if that's legit. You know? Okay. All right, so Twitter
Maybe he's just crazy legit.
Could be. Either way, he's entertaining. He should do a lot more voice acting roles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd like to see him play Thanos.
He's gonna turn all the freaking frogs gay. All right. Twitter has finally acted on Alex Jones, though in perhaps the most minimal way it possibly could. The controversial InfoWars host, who has used this platform to attack the relatives of children killed at Sandy Hook, among other controversies, has now been banned from the site. But the punishment will only last for a week, and his tweets will all still stay online. A screenshot has been shared across Twitter informing Mr. Jones that he has violated the company's rules against abusive behavior and will have his account features limited for 7 days. Okay, so Alex Jones is one of the people saying that the Sandy Hook shooting, among pretty much every other shooting, was a false flag operation and everyone involved is paid actors, no kids actually died, that kind of thing. And I didn't see his coverage of it. I don't know if he called for the harassment of the people involved, or if people just saw his thing and then did it on their own accord. So I can't really speak to that personally. If he did call for that, that's pretty shitty. And I think some action is required there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't care for social media in the slightest. I think it's dumb. I think certain events should be reported, but I just don't care for the news, social media, because it's literally everything that happens around you. Or not even in the next state. Like, you could hear about shit happening in, I don't know, Tahiti that you have no way of impacting and probably shouldn't even care about knowing, but they're going to present it for about a month.
Oh, yeah.
So when I see school shooting after school shooting after school shooting after school shooting, it's like, I'm not, like, I don't like hearing about it. It's bad. Like, if you're shooting up a school, you are the worst fucking person on the planet. But I don't want to hear about it, because what am I going to impact?
Right.
Like, what is me knowing about school shootings going to impact in my direct, what's the word? Just in my life.
Right.
Like, around me. I don't go to schools. I don't go near schools. I don't have a reason to. I go to my job. I do job shit where I work at my job. I'm only at my job. I need a better life. But I just don't care for social media. So hearing stuff like this, I don't know anything about Sandy Hook.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know if it is a conspiracy or anything, so I can't give any real insight on that. I'm not gonna say anything like I agree with him about this. I agree with him saying that it was a hoax, because I don't know. Could have been, could not have been. Anything I hear is either word of mouth from you or something I happen to catch on the radio in the car. But
yeah, and I get that.
I get that. You know, if we're looking for like, oh, it's definitely a hoax, you're not gonna get it from me.
Right.
So, to that extent, I can't say anything for him or against him. I'm going to take a neutral stance on that.
God, the site's like 90% ads.
Seriously, I was like, is that the screenshot they took?
No, this is just ads.
But
this is all ads.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, okay, I'm sorry to break away from this, but look at this. This, in the center, this is the article.
2 sentences.
Ads. And
Jesus
then
Christ, wear a condom.
more shit. Then, okay, here's some article followed by ads, surrounded by ads, ads everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Jesus- Dude, wear a condom before you get ads.
All right. Although Mr. Jones will be unable to tweet anything for the duration of the enforcement, his page and existing tweets will remain visible. A Twitter spokesman said the account had been put into read-only mode because of tweets containing a broadcast in violation of the rules, which it wants Mr. Jones to delete. Here's Alex Jones wearing his tinfoil hat. However, the separate InfoWars account remains active. The InfoWars account is like it's like the difference between Bill O'Reilly's Twitter account and Fox News' Twitter account, pretty much. So yeah, the move follows weeks of pressure on Twitter to follow other tech companies, including Facebook and YouTube, in banning some of Mr. Jones's content. Well, some of. That's kind of misleading. They banned him from the sites. Like, they got rid of everything. I mean, saying some of his content isn't exactly... It's not a good summation of that. And it's worth noting that I think it was... What was it, like 12 social media platforms or so? All in the same day got rid of him. So...
There's 12 social media platforms?
Well, social media used is more of a big umbrella term. He was also banned from stuff like, I think, Spotify.
Why? Oh, yeah, it's a radio thing.
Yeah, it's a radio thing.
I was going to say, there's 12 social media things, because it's like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Do you count Snapchat?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was banned there. Okay, Twitter's chief executive, Jack Dorsey, had previously said the conspiracy theorist would not be banned because he was yet to breach any rules, which is weird because most people get like punished on Twitter for like jack shit. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, here's Alex fucking Jones, and they're saying, "Oh, he hasn't done anything wrong." Don't get me wrong, I don't want him banned from Twitter. At all. I don't want him banned from any of these sites. I think he's an entertaining dude, and banning him all pretty much at the same time across all these platforms kind of feeds into his conspiracy theories. You're only helping him, in my opinion.
Well, not only that, but...
Globalists are working against me.
Like, what is him saying it's a hoax do? Does it hurt anybody aside from their feelings? Is anyone getting, like, mauled because they listen to him and then suddenly, I don't know, gay frogs come out of nowhere and attack their car?
Oh, of course.
Like, I kind of see it as, I forget if it was you or someone or somewhere else I read this, but it kind of does go against the free speech thing. Because even though you don't agree with it, even though it might be shitty, it is still free speech. You don't just shut somebody down because you don't agree with them.
Right, and it just as just because I know we're gonna get this comment, because every place that says that gets the same comment. When we say free speech, we don't mean the very specific law. We're talking about the very specific right to speech, as in the government can't infringe on it. We're talking more of the spirit of free speech. All right, so we know it's not technically against the First Amendment to shut them down from all these platforms because they are privately owned companies.
Right.
I'm personally of the opinion of them being treated as public utilities, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's how many people use YouTube? Uncountable.
Pretty much. YouTube can't even catch up with YouTube.
At that point, yeah, it's public domain. You made a site, but
yeah, I would say once a social media platform gets to a certain, I don't know what the exact number would be or how exactly you'd measure it. This is just a general idea. Once they get to a certain scale of influence, I think they should be like still run as a private company, with the exception that they have to adhere to like First Amendment rules, pretty much.
Right.
Like you can't ban someone for saying literally anything. Like if it's illegal, yeah, but if it's something like you just disagree with, then whatever.
Yeah, because then you're just trying to shut people up, which
Right.
goes against the free speech thing.
Yeah, and typically I'd be against the government forcing those things on private companies. I'm more libertarian leaning, but I make an exception with stuff like this only because the idea of all of these social media platforms, which are almost all housed in, Silicon Valley, California and shit, all of them being ideologically pretty homogenous, and all of them controlling the information that gets to you, because this is where most people get their information. Like, you could say, oh, go to another site, but it's like, this is where the majority of people get their information, like it or not. So they control the narrative completely then. And I don't trust them with that kind of power, personally.
No. What sucks is people can't differentiate between people trying to feed them certain information and, hey, are you trying to cover things up?
Mm-hmm. Let the crazies speak, I say.
They're entertaining.
Fuck
Why
yeah,
not?
they are. Like, at the very least, like, okay, with Alex Jones, they're saying that he harassed the people that were related to the people that died at Sandy Hook. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that. They didn't specify. Like, did he actually go up to them and fuck with them? Did he tell people to do that? Or did he say that, it's all a globalist conspiracy to take away our guns? Brainwash the public. Was it that? And then other people just went out of their way to fuck with those people? Because that's more on them than him.
Yeah.
But
I would imagine it's that.
that would be my guess. I'm not ruling out him actually saying something stupid that would lead people to go out and attack those people, but I don't know for sure. I've seen other claims that, he's calling to violence, and I've looked at them before, and they weren't really calls to violence. People were just misinterpreting it. But,
Yeah, like, I can't imagine, even as crazy as he is, I can't imagine him actually going up to people and being like, hey, your son didn't really get shot.
yeah, that wouldn't end too well.
Like, no one, well, I'm not going to say no one, but I don't see him as that insensitive. Like, I can imagine him, making a cause for a conspiracy theory,
Mm-hmm.
but I see him as just doing that. I don't know what happened. I didn't read or watch anything going on, but considering things I have seen of Alex Jones, I just find it hard to believe like he went out and personally attacked them, like called them
Yeah.
out on the spot, and it's just like, hey, you faking it, quit faking it, hey, stop it. And
Your
it's
dead
just
kid is
like,
fake news.
I just don't see that as being a thing. I see it more as he just said something stupid, and people were just like, oh, I'm offended. He's harassing me.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the more likely. Well, I guess fortunately when you think about it, but all right, let's see. We know that it's hard for many, but the reason is simple. He hasn't violated our rules, Mr. Dorsey said last week. We'll enforce
good.
Yeah, we'll enforce if he does, and we'll continue to promote a healthy conversational environment by ensuring tweets aren't artificially amplified. Okay.
And actually, I do like that quote because despite the fact that, yes, a lot of people did get hurt by this comment, he didn't break the rules. So if we banned him for not breaking the rules, where's the line?
The thing is, with Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, if you look at their terms of service, it's very vague to the point where you can get anyone with anything. So, and they have done that. Like, they go after people I follow all the time for like nothing. So I'm kind of interested in figuring out why they're not doing that with Alex Jones. You know what I mean? Like, why is he the
Maybe they like
exception where it's like, okay, now we need to make sure we don't get this guy the same way we got all those other guys?
I don't know. Maybe they just like him.
I don't know. Mr.
Or maybe
Jones.
they're,
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Oh, no, I was going to start a thought, but I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what the hell goes on in social media's life, why they do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because more often than not, it seems like they're being a detriment to their own media.
YouTube especially.
YouTube, almost exclusively. But I don't know. I can't think of a good reason other than, hey, maybe they just liked Alex Jones and they really didn't want to have to do it.
Maybe.
I don't know. Or maybe it was the fact that he has almost 1 million followers, and if they did that, people would get upset.
That hasn't stopped them before, though. Like they get like TJ and Sargon of Akkad and people like that all the time.
Well, yeah, but they're atheists. No one cares about atheists.
I don't think it'd be the atheist leaning. I think pretty much. I think Twitter, like, if they were to have, I think they would more have a lean against theists, if anyone. Like if there had to be someone, I'm not saying they are. I'm saying that if they were against one, that would probably be it. Okay, Mr. Jones, who has some 889,000 followers, goddamn, claims the Sandy Hook Elementary School gun attack was a hoax, leading to legal action against him from the families of some of the victims. Okay, I mean,
why?
I don't know the specifics of the case, but if there's a legitimate law being broken there, then yeah, let them settle that in court. But yeah, I don't support this mass banning of Alex Jones.
I don't support mass bannings of anybody.
Yeah,
if it involves free speech, unless, there are exceptions to the rule, but like if it involves free speech, then fuck it, just let them be crazy. All you have to do is turn your head and not listen to them.
Right.
I didn't know who Alex Jones was until
Hey, thanks for the support.
video.
Don't lie though.
Yo.
I know
And
you
then
did
you
it for the
said you
emote.
already knew him.
Thanks for the subscription, Andy.
Thank you.
See, that's 5 months in a row. Damn, son.
Very nice.
That's some money. Thanks, dude.
But yeah, freedom of speech, I just leave them alone. It's people wanting to have problems with other people. Mind you, like, this is a very sensitive topic for somebody, and
A person or two.
a person or two. It should have been settled like a Facebook comment section where it's just like, hey, you're a retard. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still make my stuff, but yeah. Just people want to get way too into it. Like, you're gonna get something for someone saying something stupid. Fortunately, you can, but
Holy shit. You know what I just realized?
what?
My computer fan was kind of going, it was going a little nuts.
Uh-huh.
When I closed down that site, The Independent, the fan got quiet.
Oh yeah, it was loading 300 ads.
That was fucking, I didn't think there were that many ads. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Okay, for anyone curious, all right, you know what? I just want to make a point. I want to make a stink about this real quick. All right.
Stinky.
This PC properties. All right, so for those, just to give you guys an idea of how many fucking ridiculous the ridiculous number of ads on that site were on just on that one page. Okay, my computer. All right, Intel Core processor. Let's see, it's an i7. Let's see, 3.4 gigahertz.
Jesus.
32 gigs of RAM. 64-bit operating system. Let's see, and I don't know if this comes into play, but the graphics card is a GTX 1080.
Nah, somewhat, but not really.
That much processing power. And it was having a hard time with that site.
Fun fact, if you're ever on
Whoa, you're beeping a lot. Whoa, shit.
beep beep boop 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 beep beep boop boop.
Okay, you're good.
Saying that if for any reason you need to stay on a site with copious amounts of ads for an extended period of time, you can just right-click, inspect the ad, find where it says body in the line of text that comes up, and click delete, and it'll completely delete the ad off the page.
Oh, cool.
I do that a lot for certain sites like watchcartoon.com. It works wonders because my computer the one I used to have, went from to hey, this feels pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that hoodie ad right up there in the top corner, you can get rid of that. You can actually get rid of the entire fucking page, which is funny if you're not careful.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah. I've messed with that stuff before. I didn't know like I thought the ad would just get like replaced with another ad eventually, but it just shuts down that section.
It does if you don't do it right. That's why you got to look for the body because it deletes like the entire fucking part.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like if you just delete the first thing that pops up, it'll get replaced with another ad. If you delete it like a little bit further up, same thing.
Okay, so it's like the difference between deleting the slide and the slideshow.
Yeah, imagine like it's full of, I don't know, 5 layers. And it's like you got the ad that gets replaced with another ad. You delete that part so it can't be replaced, and the box is still there. Then you delete the box, and then you just like completely delete the whole fucking section.
Ah, I gotcha. All right,
So I scroll up and delete the whole fucking section, but it's fun. So what is mocking God?
Our next video. By the way, Icky's in the chat. Hey, Icky.
Yeah, she got the link. Hi, how you doing?
Okay, so our next video. I don't know if anyone here has heard of Vigilant Christian Mario before, but
once.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, so for anyone that needs a little background on Vigilant Christian Mario and what his deal is, pretty much, since tonight's thing's about crazy people, he is under the impression that
is Tony Stark making a cross, and this is what it's about.
I think he might actually do that. He might get into that a little bit, but that's not the main focus of this one. He's under the impression that there's a secret, evil, satanic Illuminati cabal controlling pretty much everything and using symbols and metaphors and shit in media to prepare the masses for the coming of the Antichrist.
Well, yeah, it's called Disney.
Actually, that is one of his usual targets. But yeah, like anything like credit card debt, it's satanic. At one point, having a girlfriend, it's satanic. Toilet paper, it's satanic.
Actually, the credit card debt thing, I believe.
Oh man.
This shit will haunt
Simpsons,
you for the rest of your
Family
life.
Guy, Super Bowl halftime shows.
My God.
You name it, it's the devil. Pretty much.
They're trying to push a fucking product, and they're funny.
Yes, that product is Satan.
What is this? The mom off of not Billy Madison. The Waterboy. That's it.
Pretty much.
The foosball is the devil.
Oh yeah, it's
the Avengers is the devil.
It's pretty much that. If you think about that, yeah.
You know, there is a literal devil in the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah, Mephisto, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
they already got it. They don't need more. Christ, I don't even want to hear what he has to say.
Kind of adjusting. It might not be what you're thinking. It was kind of a throwaway line, and I thought it was funny personally. All right. Lock that down. Okay, first off, we're having a little bit... Connection's kind of going up and down a little. Looks like our bit rate's consistent, but it keeps going like green, yellow, orange.
Black Panther exposed. Witchcraft served to the blacks. I can't tell what it says because it's ellipses. Well, no, the next video.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
What it says.
All right. So you ready?
First off, can you hover over that? Because I want to see what the rest of that says.
Okay, you guys can't see it, but...
Mary Poppins!
Black Panther exposed, witchcraft served to the black community.
Oh, so it is...
Alright. Well, you know, some of the stuff in there is, like, very, very much, like, old school witchcraft kind of aesthetic. But yeah, whatever. Maybe another episode. For now, let's figure out how Avengers Infinity War mocks Jesus.
I don't know. I think we've done enough racial and LGBT stuff for
Yeah,
a little while.
that's why tonight's thing is more crazy people. Let's see.
All right, hey everyone, it's TVC Mario.
I hate it
and
already.
You're here for a video
You're
I needed
here
to make
for-
to go ahead and share with you that scene
My
from
name
the
is
new
Thanos. I am here
super
to
popular.
delete half the universe with the help of these magical infinity pebbles.
Magical Infinity Pebbles.
Part of a balanced fist.
Part of a balanced universe.
Popular Avengers movie that right now is dominating U.S. theaters with
yeah.
record-breaking numbers
Daddy's
for
dominating.
the debut, and I'm sure it's just going to continue. Now, for those of you who don't know, Disney absolutely hates Christians. If you haven't seen my previous videos, we need to talk about Disney.
Does he?
Their agenda. I'll go ahead and leave it linked up in the description section below.
Is that a legitimate thing, though?
What, that Disney hates Christians?
Because I want to call bullshit, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, it's more his interpretation of their media. Like everything is anti-Christian values, everything's evil, so it's anti-Christian.
What are you talking about, Chernabog?
Yeah, but Chernabog was not portrayed as a good thing, and that's what a lot of this comes down to. In a lot of his videos, it's like, oh, it has a witch. It's like, yeah, the witch is the bad guy. Like, there's a lot of videos like that. We can go over more of his older videos, if you ever want to look at stuff like that. Like, I think he did a video on the Disney princesses.
Why? Okay, first off, why?
I know it's, and then he also did a video that I don't totally disagree with him. Just like Disney's like turning young actresses into like horrible sluts.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't necessarily think it's intentional, but there is a disturbing pattern. All right.
Yeah, those Disney ears, they're going to be selling them. And they are super anti-Christian, and there you just seen a scene in which they have a character who is asked, what master do you serve? And this is a reference to the Bible, and he says, what am I supposed to say? Jesus, and everyone in the audience begins to laugh. Ha 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 ha
That was a
ha.
funny
It was
line.
fucking
And so,
funny.
as some Christians, my brothers and sisters, you were sitting there in movie theaters, our Messiah was being mocked in front of us, and everyone was just laughing.
Okay.
Because this man, if I remember correctly, it was Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Mom died. Dad turned out to be a Celestial. In the Marvel Universe, Jesus, as far as I'm aware, does not exist.
I think he does as a historical figure.
Santa Claus does, and he's a mutant.
I think the joke was more, and I think the joke was more the way Doctor Strange asked it, because there were a few lines like this one where they kind of make fun of the way that Doctor Strange speaks. Like near the beginning of the movie, he says like "hitherto unheard of," and Tony Stark is like, "Did you seriously just say hitherto unheard of?" Like they're making fun of his very archaic, very like OT Bible fucking manner of speech. And in this one, he's saying like they're trying to figure out if he's working for Thanos and everything. So he's asking him, "What master do you serve?" And he's making fun of the way he's speaking. He's like, "What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say? Jesus?" You know what I mean? Like it's just making fun of the way he asked the question. Because like with this character especially, he's kind of a country boy. You know what I mean? We don't have that fancy talk back where I'm from.
Well, back where you're from, you've traveled the universe.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
But I mean, also it's just a throwaway line first off.
Yeah.
But like getting into specifics, like what else are you supposed to say?
Yeah, it's just like
He's a smartass first and foremost. He's a dick.
Yeah.
I don't completely, I don't see him not saying the line.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason why he shouldn't have said the line. It's just cool.
Yeah, it was just a funny line. He was making fun of the way he asked the question, like, you know, who the hell talks like that is pretty much the joke. But the way he's interpreting it is, he'll get into it a little more. Maybe I should let him talk a little.
No, because it's a throwaway line. It was said
yeah,
once and not talked about for the rest of the fucking movie. Jesus was said once.
There's another layer to it that he brings up to support his argument.
He could have said any of the deities.
Right.
So what
Jesus
makes it
being a
special that he said Jesus?
Hmm?
I said, so what makes it special that he said Jesus?
All right. Well,
Like, he could've said fucking
actually, that's what
anybody.
he's gonna get into.
I don't want to fucking hear this guy, so I'm stalling.
mocked in front of us, and everyone was just laughing. I mean, yeah,
It's
Jesus
funny.
being a master. Ha 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 ha, that's so funny. No, Jesus is Master of Master, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. And we live in a...
Isn't
He's
he
not the
the
Lord of
son
Stars,
of
though.
God?
He's not the Lord of Stars, though. That's clearly Chris Pratt's character.
Is he not God's son, though? Which would make God the step above him, which would make God the master of masters. And Jesus is
It's a weird Trinity argument. It's I don't know.
they just don't know what they're talking about, so they keep backing it up and backing up and backing it up, and eventually they're going to hit a wall. And then they're going to cry and collapse into a corner, having an existential meltdown.
I don't know. Like, it's different depending on who you ask. Like, with the Trinity thing, it's like, are they all separate things, but they're also the same thing while also being separate things completely? Which begs the question, why was, you know, Jesus praying to essentially himself in a couple scenes? And
Why did he die?
Are they parts of a whole? Or are they just different manifestations of the same thing?
Would that make him Dr. Fate?
Kind of. Kind of.
Or would it make him Tony
Christian
Stark?
society where Christians bow the
'Cause he's
knee
praying to himself.
to the entertainment industry when they mock God because, oh, it's just entertainment, right? Well,
Yes.
in this video, I hope I can knock some sense into you Christians and make you realize that that is not the case. It's not something to be brushed off. It's not something to be apathetic towards.
Yeah, Jesus
it's something
Christ,
to
get
recognize
some skin.
and take a bold stand
Right.
against. If you love God, you stand for him against
Your skin's
unrighteousness
so
and
thin,
those
it's
who mock
non-existent.
him. And so this verse, for those of you who want the biblical reference, is actually found in scriptures where the Bible says you cannot serve two
I'm that dog
masters.
right now.
You can't serve God and mammon. And who, in fact,
Mammon.
said that in the scene is none other than
Mama.
supposed brother in the Lord, Christian
Okay, here it
Chris
is.
Pratt. And so you may have seen
Jesus.
articles where he talked about Jesus transforming his life. Articles have been written on the Christian Post and websites all over the internet. He oftentimes will even tweet about it, talking about how he's praying and that the power of prayer saved his son. You can see that. The power of prayer saved my son. This boy, Sam, needs a miracle. Say a prayer for Sam, even if you never have before. Try. So Chris Pratt is known for acknowledging the power of prayer, for giving God glory, for sharing his testimony, for being on stage and receiving awards where he gives.
But yeah, this is pretty much the angle he's taking on it. It's like the evil Hollywood Illuminati cabal forces this devoted Christian to mock God in the movie. That's why he found it. Well, you were asking earlier, like, you know, why is it special that it's Jesus when he could have said anything? That's why he found special. That's why he found it offensive. He thinks it's, and he's talked about stuff like this before, where it's like a lot of the people doing the secret evil Illuminati hand signs and shit. Some of them are doing it unknowingly, or they're being forced to do shit like that. Like, men are forced to dress up as women in certain scenes and comedies and shit as a way.
Oh wow!
As a way to
comedy,
fuck with
imagine.
them. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much the angle he takes with it. It's like, how hard does a joke have to go? Like, how far over your head does a joke have to go? Like, he's not making fun of Jesus and the idea of Jesus being a master. He's making fun of Doctor Strange talking like a fucking weirdo.
Well, not only that, but Chris never said anything about the joke.
Yeah, he didn't. He
This-
didn't.
Like, actors aren't exactly quiet when it comes to shit like this. I mean, look at James Gunn, for example. Like, Batista said he'd just not go film the movie if they didn't use a script. So it's not like actors aren't vocal with their opinions.
Yeah.
So, you know, if Chris Pratt suddenly was just like, yeah, they made me say this line even though it was against my will, then they'd get some serious flack for that. But no, he just said it. It was a one-liner, and it was never mentioned again.
Yeah, I think we're not gonna watch the whole video, obviously.
Are we sure?
I'm sure.
We have 4 hours to fill.
Oh Christ.
I can stretch this video into 4 hours.
Jesus. Oh no, the secret Illuminati cabal has forced me to make fun of Jesus Christ. But yeah, he's just making fun of the archaic way he's speaking. It's not it's not mocking Jesus or the idea of him being a master. There's nothing really supporting that. And to your point, Logan, I guess if he were to hear that argument, it would probably go something like, oh, well, the secret Illuminati cabal would prevent him from speaking out about it publicly. At which point it becomes like an unfalsifiable hypothesis. Which just gets ridiculous.
Then find me the Illuminati and prove to me that they're doing this.
Well, you see...
You made the claim. Go find it.
Well, here's your proof. You see, someone made the OK sign in a picture once.
Cool. Prove to me that the OK sign and the Illuminati signal, or the Illuminati hand sign are one and the same. Go find someone from the Illuminati. That's not fucking pulling your leg.
Right?
Like, don't go find some random 12-year-old on the street saying, I'm in the Illuminati.
Right. It's just... A lot of his videos, like, they're a lot more fun when he goes into, like, oh, here's the secret symbol in this Simpsons scene. You know what he took? He took a scene from The Simpsons. It was, do you remember the Stonecutters episode?
No.
Where Homer essentially joins the Stonecutters, which are just the Illuminati, pretty much. And they're getting shit like, oh, we actually run the world, you know, as a secret society, and, you know, if you put this bumper sticker on, you know, you get better parking and shit like that. The whole episode is making fun of people like the Vigilant Christian, and he looks at it, and he's seeing all these symbols that are mock-ups of, like, the all-seeing eye and shit. He's looking at it, and he's not seeing it as, oh, they're joking about secret society stuff. He sees it as, they're trying to brainwash everyone with all these symbols.
And, you know, there's something to be said about that, because I know hidden messages are a thing, and if people do look deep enough, they can find them. The problem with these conspiracy people is they are looking for hidden messages that don't exist. They can't just appreciate a joke for what it is. They can't just appreciate some subtle humor that makes fun of something that I don't know. Like the one-liner Jesus. It's like, who's your master? I don't know, Jesus Christ. Like, cool, it's a throwaway line. But now we got to find some meaning to it that doesn't exist.
Right.
And maybe I'm an idiot for not delving deep into everything I hear. You know, maybe someone says hello to me in a certain tone, and then I got to spend the rest of the day trying to figure out how they just told me to worship Satan. But I don't know. I just think they go a little too far into it, trying to find some meaning in things there are no meaning in.
And a point against this whole, like, evil, anti-Christian Illuminati cabal bullshit behind Hollywood, it's like he just went through Chris Pratt, like, he's tweeting about, you know, how great Jesus is, you know, the power of prayer, and he did that at the Teen Choice Awards, too. He talked about Jesus and stuff. And, you know, it's fine. Like, he wasn't super... Like, I watched it myself. He wasn't, like, super preachy or anything. Like, he wasn't trying to shove it down people's throats, you know what I mean? Like, he was explaining that's his belief and everything, and that's what gets him through, and, you know, he and he recommends it to people trying to get through life and everything, and that's fine. He wasn't shitting on anyone else's beliefs, but do you really think the secret Illuminati satanic cabal would let him do that? You know what I mean?
I just want to say I don't think people would have a problem with Chris Pratt shoving it down their throat.
Right. It doesn't.
I'm glad you just agreed with something you didn't realize the context of.
Yeah, it's just that he wouldn't.
Dick.
Like, if Satanists and anti-Christians were running Hollywood, I don't think they would let Chris Pratt, preach the word of Jesus to kids at the Teen Choice Awards. You know?
Probably not.
Probably not. Also, we got 2 new people in the chat. We've got...
Sup.
Ooh, that is a long name. Arya Vash Backup says, can you get high off of...
Paracetamol? I have no idea what that is. I'm just going to pronounce it like that because...
I was going to call it pterodactyl.
Terracermol.
Tyrannosaurus Maul. Let's see. What is that?
Oh, God, that's terrifying. Oh, he's got a tiny itty-bitty lightsaber.
He's
He's got tiny arms. Paracetamol. What the hell is that?
Tylenol, pretty much. Off Tylenol? No.
No.
I don't believe
Can you
so.
fuck yourself up, though?
Oh, God,
Yes.
yeah. Like, you take too much ibuprofen or Tylenol or something like that, it will kill you. It'll destroy your liver. Can't get high off it, though. Also, we have Slushberg, who says, sup. Oh, this thing. Yeah, this thing. By the way, is that a new haircut? Yes, it is.
For your gerb.
Yeah, I had to do, I was doing job interviews, or a job interview, so the hair had to go. It's very sad.
Again.
Yeah.
But
it'll come back one day.
Yeah. But yeah, Tylenol doesn't actually kill you by itself, but what it does is it completely fucks up your body to the point where it can't function. Like, it'll shut certain things down, like your liver, and then you'll just die.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be able to process things properly. Other facets of your body will shut down, and just slow, painful death that involves a lot of vomiting, trying to get the medicine up, and by that point, it's too late.
Right.
You will vomit blood. You will probably shit yourself trying to get it. Like, your body's going to try to purge itself, but it's already going to be too late at that point. It's like drinking bleach. It destroys your stomach irreparably. Like, it gets rid of the mucus lining. It completely rips the hole through it, and then your body just goes to town destroying itself.
How bad?
So I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
How bad what?
I was just going to say, how bad does a Vigilant Christian video have to be that we're talking about the dangers of Tylenol?
Well, you see, we can either preach this, or that they're mocking Christians with my Jesus Christ is my master man, even though he's not.
Right. And, okay, so we're going to move on. And for the next video, Logan, this is part of my ongoing quest to convert you to G-Time. So I found another G-Time Johnny video. I think he more than qualifies for the Crazy People episode.
I can't understand him.
And knowing that, I picked a video of his that's a little more ground level, a little more normal English involved. And that video is, though it's going to be oriented a little weird on here because it's in 4:3, the history of communication and human evolution.
Grunts and groans formed words. The end.
It's okay, like, this is a little more of a baseline G-Time Johnny video. I think there's a lot more concepts that we can understand in here from what I've watched of it. And it might give us a little more insight into what some of his language means when he's talking about stuff like G-Time and man objects and earth objects and shit.
Gangsta time.
Gangsta time. Oh, I wish it was. It's Galileo time, but... Okay. So let's hear from, as Icky has just described him, good and happy tree man.
Good and happy tree.
Wrong. So let's learn a little more about G-Time, ladies and gents.
Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you the history of communication and human evolution. Okay, so the first communication was the first single cell to multi-cell life that there was on Earth. It must have took millions of years for them to communicate as one. Okay, so that you go for one, one cell, it's like, I'm living, I'm going to do everything I can on myself. And then, oh, we get more freedom if we work together.
Jeff, pause. Okay, so I just want to imagine this as like the cells are all in a bar,
Okay.
and one cell goes up to another cell and just and then so then at that point it's just like, I'm gonna go.
The cell's just literally saying, I want to do everything on my own.
And
wow, these
then,
libertarians are really regressing, aren't they? Self-burn.
Now, when he's talking about communication, I assumed he was talking about like verbal communication, not like.
I think it's weird. I think he's
telepathy.
between two concepts when he's talking about communication, because he does kind of mean with verbal communication, more just like relaying information.
Because there are two types of communication where we have visual and audible. And, visual communication is like pointing somewhere or eyeballing something, making facial expressions, things along that line, whereas verbal communication is how we are talking. So, that said, I'm wondering what face the cell is making when it's doing that.
It's
completely straight face, just hand gestures like, hey, do you want to come sit with my friends? And
then fucking Opie from Family Guy's cell over there just
whoa, whoa, whoa.
He wants you to stick your finger in his mouth. But yeah, when he's saying communication, it does seem like the idea of spreading information from one cell to another.
Okay, so it's just the spreading of information is what he's
when we went from cells to multi-cells. So I think in that context, he means like the information is, I don't know, like cells working together, pretty much. Maybe not literally talking to each other, but working cooperatively.
No, but my baseline understanding of what he's trying to say, I guess, is just the passing of information from one to another.
I think it's both.
So, I'm guessing that's where he's going with this.
I think it's both. I think it's both sending information from one being to another and also working cooperatively.
We're only 33 seconds into this video, and I'm already trying to debate whether the hell this man is sane or not.
Maybe when we get more context, it'll make more sense.
Is there context at all? Does he do context? Does he understand the concept of context?
As I recall, it makes a little more sense when he gets from cells to like animals and humans.
Composed of the cells all going.
I want to do everything on my own.
And this is how Democrats were born.
Years.
Well, that's more libertarians. Libertarians are the no government, I want to do everything on my own.
Hold on, what's going on in the chat?
Let's see. Oh, are we continuing this? Oh, yes. Yes, we are. I am like, okay, one of my overall goals for V.A.S.T is to convert Logan to G-Time eventually.
We don't have time for G-Time. We already got V-Time. But oh god, I just like reading the comments. From cell to I'm not sure if it's considered communication.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm slowly slipping into Arnold.
He's slowly becoming Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god, these cells are Arnold Schwarzenegger's first cells.
But yeah, it's oh, hey Pops.
Dad.
Yeah, just doing a show.
Dad.
Dad's just kind of hanging in the background.
Oh, Dad.
Logan says hi.
Oh, it's Logan. Cool.
How you doing, Logan?
Logan is okay. Logan's trying to debate whether or not he can understand the meaning of G times. Madness.
Logan's doing well. He's just having a hard time understanding this guy we're watching. All right.
I think I would.
I'll show you the video later. Okay, so
Don't kill him.
let's see what else G Time Johnny has to say here.
All right, now here's where, as the evolution of language and communication happened, we are all the animals and all the critters that are out there.
Okay.
We're going to focus more on the human side here. Is that we were up in the trees, in Africa, and the Great Rift occurred.
No.
Well, he's not saying with this. He's not technically wrong. He's talking about pre-Homo sapien, like the animals we evolved from were in trees.
Okay. I was gonna say no. We were on the ground, sir.
No, he's getting to that.
I wish you were.
Like the Great Rift that he's going to talk about is when our little tree of life of evolution just kind of like branched off from the tree people.
Also, why is Africa shiny?
I
Got a little
don't
bit
know.
of a sheen effect right there. It's just like shing.
We found ourselves out on the plains, and with hands made for trees and under attack by the other critters, we picked up a club.
Okay, so using
and
tools.
we walked upright for protection.
All right.
All right? And then next,
That's why
somewhere
lions
along
walk
the
upright.
line, we captured fire in this after the Great Rift happened. And then next, next was, the communication that goes from generation to generation started when we started marking the seasons in the ground.
Okay.
And that's the first recorded history.
This is actually making sense. There's a little bit of interpretation needed, a little bit. But
He's
once you
trying.
got past the cells, it makes sense, right?
He's trying, yes.
Yeah, he's just describing evolution pretty much. And so now we know when he says recorded history, he actually does mean recorded history. Like the first recorded history was the marking of the seasons in the ground, or however else they did it. We have a moment of lucidity from G Time Johnny here.
He looks like he can't even believe his own lucidity at the moment.
He's like, wow, I need more LSD.
Did I actually make sense? Mom, it
And then
happened.
it goes to cave paintings, and so on.
Okay.
But we marked the seasons in the ground. It was something that we shared on and off. Say hi real quick. Minnie, up. Say hi real quick. Right there. Say hi.
No, I was expecting you to go.
Okay, so with that we marked
Just
the
dropped the
seasons.
bitch.
Can we say it again?
All right, let's go.
Okay, so
The thud. The thud is what makes that. Just, all right, I'm doing a video with thud.
quick, right there. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Okay, so
Ten out of 10. Oh man. Oh, let's see. Andy says flat earther vid. Oh, that'll be our last video for tonight. That's actually coming up next. And then we'll have a different segment after that. But yeah, like I said earlier, though you came in a little later. The insane flat Earth video that I wanted to play got taken down today, unfortunately. So I did have to find a different one. It's not as good, but we'll still have fun with it. But yeah, so far, aside from throwing the dog, threw it on the ground. Yeah, it's like making sense.
It looks like dude, your videos make no sense. All right, now listen here, you little shit.
Listen here, you little shit. Okay.
So with that, we marked the seasons in the ground, and so we had recorded history. And so we ended up out on the plains, and we had to work together like the multicells to survive. And
Okay.
then our communication started to grow. So it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And
That's good.
to even today, now we're repeating the the single cell to multi-cell history
Not
within our
repeating.
species on
Continuing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the process stopped at some point in history. It just continued to grow, much like the cells.
We'll see where he goes. He says we're starting to repeat it, but he didn't say how yet.
So I was gonna say, like, this isn't so much communication exclusively, it's just evolution that involves communication.
Mhm.
It starts from single cell to multi-cell to more cells, eventually creates a living being, and then more living beings pop up. They start communicating with each other, creating larger groups, which in turn create tribes, which in
Mhm.
turn create, over time, towns, or like small neighborhoods, towns, cities, and that's how it forms. And
Right.
communication is a big facet of that because, if you don't communicate, you are pretty much just me on my days off.
Basically, space aliens.
Sorry, I had to use my soundboard for a minute.
But
Basically,
yeah, it's like
space aliens.
if you don't communicate, it's just, you're going to die off more than likely. It's a more reduced risk now, but say, I don't know, in the early hundreds,
Mhm.
where humanity's just starting to form, if you don't communicate with someone, you don't try to get along with people, you're probably going to die.
But I think the point of this video, as it ties into the idea of G time, is I think the main thing here is the origin of communication, recorded history, and probably the idea of man-time objects, which, if you remember from the last episode, we covered G-time Johnny. Earth-time objects are things that exist without humans, and man-time objects are concepts that only exist because of humans.
Right.
So I'm guessing the evolution of communication is gonna tie into that.
See?
I've watched too many of these videos.
the single cell to multi-cell history within our species on the internet. All right, and we're capturing tech age fire here with G time, because when you think with objects based on what does not and what does need us to exist,
Okay.
you can think back to binary. But the real key is here, is that everybody wants to be a better person, but they don't know how. Okay,
Wrong.
and so a lot of people think they're a better person by being the better word they can be. Well, all those words of private definition are from 2014. Well, on the internet, we could separate that language by.
Holy shit, I can actually translate that. Okay. So when he says people want to be a better person but don't know how, and they're just
Wrong.
trying to be the better word that they can be, but they're thinking from 2014, what he's saying there is a lot of people that are trying to be the better person, what they're actually trying to be is the better label. Like, a label like Christian or philanthropist or something like that. They're not trying to be a good person, they're trying to get that good title.
Okay.
And that's what they're more focused on instead of the actions themselves.
Yeah, I understood that, but I was, I translated that myself as they wanted to be better people, as in better people being, like, not shitheads.
Right. And
The
yeah,
label thing I understood.
That is what he means. He's just saying, like, a lot of people don't know how to be not a shithead because they're so focused on what label can I be instead of what can I actually do differently.
Well, yes, but where I was saying wrong was everybody. I know for a fact there are people who just do not fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them at work.
Well, I mean, I think that's... I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a nitpick, but you're right. Like, not literally everybody.
Yeah, but as for even so, better person, even those that are trying to get better, sometimes they just don't fucking care. They like to be better at that thing they do. Not just for the title, but just like they don't give a shit about people. They don't care if they're a shithead. They just want to be like a better actor. They want to be better at their job. So it's not necessarily about being the better person, just being better at what they do.
Right.
And definitely not everybody likes to do that either.
Right. And when he
pull more evidence from my work about that one, because holy shit, I work with retards, but...
Oh, I bet. I've heard stories.
I have many more.
But, okay, so this gives us good groundwork for other videos that we'll probably cover in the future, because now we know when he says people are thinking from 2014, or they're thinking with man-time objects, he means that they're too focused on the label and not the action. Right.
And to that point, he is right. There are people that do want to be the better person, but they're more caught up with the idea of, how do I be a better person? Oh, what if I'm a popular kid? You know, maybe people will like me then if I dress better. Maybe people will like me if I'm the star of the basketball team. Maybe people will like me like this or this or this, instead of trying to be the better person themselves. To, you know, that extent, he's right. He's absolutely right. People are just concerned with, you know, what makes me look like a better person instead of actually being a better person.
And what he's saying is that the way our communication has grown is getting in the way of that, because people are so focused on the labels, and that's what he's trying to change.
Instagram, for an example, people are more concerned with being, like, shown in the best light they could possibly be. Instead of like, hey, look, I'm just trying to be a better person. Look at me do better person stuffs.
I typically just show pictures of Margot doing stupid shit.
Yes, you do, and they're adorable.
Oh yeah, Margot loves those sandals, man.
Or pictures of your existential crisis with food.
Yes.
Oh no, whatever will I eat? Chicken!
Yeah.
Oh man, we're out of chicken. Good thing I've got this whole box of pizza.
We're out of chicken. Guess I'll just have to eat some more chicken. Actually, do have 3 kinds of chicken in the freezer. That's the bad part.
You do. You have regular, spicy, and other regular.
I have nuggets, spicy nuggets, and shaped like fry nuggets.
Those are the best, though.
They are. The Tyson chicken fries?
I don't understand how they do that, but there's nothing better than Tyson chicken fries.
They are amazing. They're never not good.
Even if you're not in the mood for chicken, just like, fuck it. Put them on a plate, put like 80 of them on a plate, and just eat them.
Yeah, they're not super filling either, so you could eat a ton of them.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you shouldn't eat a ton of them. I'm just saying you can.
No, that's bad for me, though, because the fact that they aren't filling and...
Oh, yeah, well, you got a metabolism problem, so you'd use them more like most people use fries. Just kind of a side item.
Take a handful of them, dip them in the ketchup container, and just shove them all in my mouth, and just...
let's see, Slushberg...
with other cells, like...
I want to throw everything on my own.
You want to go get some drinks? I think you've already had enough.
Let's see, Slushberg says, gonna be honest, I was not expecting this kind of stream, but I'm liking it. Hey, thanks, man. We do this show, we try to do it once a week. Right now, we're doing Wednesdays, but that might change soon. I'll keep you guys posted on the Discord and Twitter if there are any changes to the schedule.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this kind of stream either. I was expecting to hate myself. But apparently your Flat Earth video fell flat, so I didn't have anything to go off of.
Oh, there's still Flat Earth. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, so let's see what else he has to say here.
Time with technology and reveal the Dark Age danger, reveal those that are less than recorded history, and reveal those who are brainwashed. Okay, and that's what we're doing with G-Timers of the Tech Age, is that we are capturing Tech Age fire. And granted, a lot of people will run away going, fire, fire, these guys are crazy. Well, you know what? Crazy is the same as calling me a heretic. All right, me and Galileo are in this together, and they are with the Pope. Catholic time terrorism must end on Earth. Every country has Galileo in jail right now, and every country is a Galileo time terrorist. Is a Catholic time terrorist brainwashing children to be from 2014, and it's going to end because of G timers of the tech age. Because we captured fire. Don't run away yelling fire, fire, fire. Love you guys. Bye bye.
I love you too, G-Time Johnny. Okay, so with
Woo, fire!
I love it when he started yelling fire. That was great. So what do you think of that last bit?
I think he's fucking insane. I understand what he's saying. I think he needs to learn words.
That's another
holy
thing he
shit.
gets into in his videos as kind of an explanation as to why he don't talk good and stuff. Like,
It's like, it's kind of funny.
it kind of
On a
ties into
video-
the labels thing. He kind of does the same for words, and it gets confusing.
I just think it's funny that in a video about communication, he does a bad job at doing so.
Yeah, when he was on Drunken Peasants, they kind of pointed that out. They're like, "Well, can't you speak in 2014 man time language just so we understand what you're saying?" He had some explanation. I don't remember what it was though. That episode was like a long time ago. But
Like, I understand what he's saying. I'm not even going to try to translate it because I don't know the proper words.
I'll translate it.
But, sure, but like, I get it. I get the gist of what he's trying to say, but at the same time, it's just like you have hyperbole in there somewhere, and it makes it really difficult to understand. On top of that, you don't like using man-time words, so make it a little bit difficult to understand you, dude. I
So
want to, and I kind of do, but you need to use more better word.
yeah, but for anyone that might need a little translation of that last bit, pretty much when he's talking about, we've captured fire, just the idea of like, oh, this is the next big thing for humankind, like, this realization of how much we've gotten tied up with man-made labels instead of the things they're supposed to represent. Like, we're so focused on the label, we forgot what they describe. Or at least we're not as focused on them as we should be. And then the thing with Galileo,
I don't know too much about him, come to think about it.
Galileo, I can't remember which discovery was his. I get him confused with another one. I think he was the one.
He's an astronomic guy, I think.
I think his big thing was the Earth goes around the sun. Is that that or Copernicus? I get him and Copernicus confused. But the general idea was that the Catholic Church, whatever he discovered, the Catholic Church was very much against it, and I believe they imprisoned him because this new idea is dangerous, even though it's right.
Right, which goes into everyone running away from the fire because
Right.
they're afraid of the technology we possess.
So when he's saying...
Like, they're so afraid of all these new concepts that they're just running away in terror instead of trying to be like, oh, okay, I understand it.
Right.
I see what we have.
Right, and they don't like the change, or they don't, or it's just so different to them that they legitimately are scared of it. And then when it comes to, Galileos in every country being imprisoned, he's just saying like all these people with like ideas that are right, but everyone sees them as crazy, so they try to lock them away and make fun of them and everything like that. So when he's saying Catholic time terrorist, as funny as that fucking label is, that's what he means. He means people that are trying to push aside or lock up the heretics, so to speak, that are coming forth with these new ideas. Yeah.
He's understandable. I just wish he spoke not moonspeak.
Right. And I think with this and maybe one other video, if I can find one, as a good groundwork, we can find his crazier videos and actually interpret his entire philosophy.
Jesus Christ, no.
Yes, my goal.
This was not my second language that I wanted to learn.
You're gonna learn G-Time, motherfucker.
I wanted to learn J-Time so I could listen to J-pop and know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, that's what we need. We need to figure out this language and make G-pop. You could be the forefront, Logan. This could be the start of something beautiful, a brand new kind of music. The language is completely in G-Time Johnny speak.
I am not going to be the founder of G-pop. Fast forward to 5 months. Hi, I'm the founder of G-pop.
Yeah, 5 months after you discovered you can have a pop song called Catholic Time Terrorists.
I still okay. I can't listen to that and not think of a time cop from the future.
Right?
Like, I know it's like Catholic time, but it sounds like Catholic time terrorist. It's literally a terrorist.
Yeah, right.
Or it's literally a Catholic terrorist from a different time.
Time traveling pope.
It's such a funny concept to me. I know what he's saying, but it's just so funny.
I'm just saying we
But-
could fit that word into a pop song.
I know.
Do you know how amazing that would be? We could be the forefront of something beautiful, Logan. If only you embrace G-Time and learn more with me.
I am not embracing that man. He needs a bath first.
I'm not gonna lie, even if he stunk, I'd probably still hug him. He's just so lovable.
G-time, you need some bath time.
Yeah,
Because, oh boy, you stink.
I want to see him. Man.
Okay, so
One more time. I'm sorry. I just love the thud.
it was something that we shared on and off. Say hi real quick. Minnie, up. Say hi real quick. Right there. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Okay, so
Thud.
Just fucking falls over.
Oh, God. G-Time Johnny's wonderful. Who the hell is G-Time Johnny? This wonderful man on screen, man. We just went through his whole video and learned a little more about...
Time.
Hmm?
Oh, I was going to say, this is Jehovah Time Johnny. How you doing?
Oh, God, no. Oh. I'd avoid those videos. All right, so our next video. It's not the one I wanted, but it is still a Flat Earth video, and the title is still great. And the title is... Don't let wizards deceive you about Flat Earth.
Why does this look like the opening to the PS2?
It kind of does.
I can hear it.
So yeah, don't let wizards deceive you about Flat Earth.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Wait, Jeff.
Yes?
Center of the screen. You what, mate?
Tonight on FM radio. You what, mate?
Me.
Oh,
668, mate.
Oh, God. Yeah.
FM, mate.
Fix the screen a little bit.
8 and 6/6. You mean 9?
Okay.
Also,
All
there's a 666 right there on the screen. Illuminati confirmed.
Oh my God, you're right. You know the crazy thing is? This has Jesus stuff in it. So let's continue.
Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God.
Oh, we're hearing your fan a bit, Logan.
Oh, I dropped the barricade. My bad.
But, all right, so that opening quote again. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. I guess they needed reminding that last bit.
They also need a comma. I
Yeah,
am the
that's
Lord
true.
your God.
After wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God.
The Lord your God.
Okay, so I have to skip over this bit since it's a Disney movie. He shows the bit from The Sword and the Stone where Merlin, a wizard, is telling King Arthur, hey, you got to learn shit from the future to give you an edge. So, Earth not flat. It's round, motherfucker. And so that's how he's tying it into the Leviticus quote.
I
Like,
like this movie that I haven't seen.
You haven't seen The Sword and the Stone?
No. I did see Camelot, though.
That was a very different movie.
It was a very different movie. Has nothing to do with The Sword and the Stone, but I remember it.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that are like, it's okay, but you also have really fond memories of it, so you're like, it's got a place in my heart.
Didn't realize how bad Swan Princess was though.
Swamp Princess.
Swan Princess.
Oh, the
Oh,
swan.
oh,
Oh,
that.
God. Yeah.
I didn't realize how shallow they were.
Oh, yeah. That's.
I was like 6. I did
Yeah.
not understand these concepts. I just thought she was kind of hot. I was a
Yeah.
horny 6-year-old. But yeah, I've never seen Sword in the Stone.
It's decent. It's got some weird shit in it.
Hmm.
It's got wizard battles and singing fish, horny squirrels. It's got some weird shit in it.
I didn't know I was in the movie.
All right, so next up, we're going to learn a little more Bible.
Turneth after such
Leviticus.
as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a-whoring after them. I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people.
I love that
The
phrase,
fearful
to
and
go a
unbelieving,
whoring.
and the abominable, and murderers, and
I
whoremongers.
am using that now.
Sorry, I hit play when I shouldn't have. Going a whoring.
I love that, and I'm using it. I am putting that on a shirt.
And a whoring we will go.
Oh my god, that's a beautiful phrase.
A whoring we will go, all pimpin', slut and hoe. Anyway.
Against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars.
I just want to say, Whoremonger is my favorite Iron Man villain.
Can I get that on a shirt too?
Shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Okay, so the
Why
rest of the video is just
brimstone, though?
slides.
Why brimstone though? Like
It smells like farts. That's terrible.
it does, but it's always about brimstone.
I guess it's just the worst rock they could find at the time.
I guess so, because like liquid hot magma? Anyone? Like that's not brimstone.
I don't know.
And glass.
Glass.
Volcanic glass.
All right, so the rest of the video is just a slideshow of
Okay.
things similar to this. So, you want to read this one, or should I?
Let's see. If the natural physics of water is to find and maintain its level, and large bodies of water need to be contained and do not conform to the exterior of the shapes or objects, and 71% of the Earth's surface is covered in water, how can you be living on a spinning ball covered with water? Centrifugal force. Anyway.
And
So,
this magical thing called gravity.
that doesn't exist.
Because when they're saying, like, oh, it doesn't, it doesn't stick to the surface of things, it's like, yeah, because when you pour water on a ball on Earth, Earth's gravity is more powerful than that of your stupid ball. So the water drips down towards the center of Earth, the center of its mass.
Actually, here's a funny experiment. Very simple thing you can do to explain that. So you pour water on a ball, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hold the ball above the pitcher. And then you pour water and watch it go towards the ball.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
wait, fuck, it didn't. I said, you get a ball and you pour water on the ball, okay? And then you say, look, it doesn't stick on the ball, so how could the Earth be flat? Okay, so then you hold the ball above the pitcher and then you pour the pitcher onto the ball. Oh, wait, fuck, it doesn't go to the ball, it goes to the Earth.
Right.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, it goes like it's sticking to Earth because fucking gravity. That's how it works. It's the displacement of space. It's pulling everything towards it.
I want to hear the theory about how we're revolving around the sun.
Wait, what?
I want to hear the theory about how we're revolving around the sun.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if... Do flat earthers typically have an answer for that one?
I don't know, because it would probably very much conflict with their own theories, because guess what? The sun has a fuck ton of gravity. So...
I've heard a lot of flat earthers go with the idea that the sun goes around the Earth.
Yes, I'm sure they all have that one theory that we're the center of the universe.
Yeah, geocentrists.
That was
well, maybe not necessarily the
completely
universe,
disproven.
but just the maybe just the
solar
sun
system.
itself. Yeah.
Yes, because the Earth is just so absolutely massive that it would do that.
So I
You know,
guess at that point it'd be a geosystem.
here's what I want to do. I want to take a flat earther on a trip, driving, and this would take like thousands of years, but I want to make a road going all the way across the Atlantic, all the way across the Pacific, and it just meets right back up at one point. So you can only drive in a straight line, no turns, no nothing, and they have to be awake for the entire trip to see that they have not turned, they have not adjusted their course, the
Mhm.
road has not bent in any way, shape, or form. And they just drive around the Earth, and then they meet up back where they started. And they'll still probably find some way to say the Earth is flat.
Now you're thinking with portals. But let's see what else they bring up.
It's like if the Earth was flat, then just find the fucking edge. Do it.
Do it.
Get proof that the Earth is fucking flat instead of like going through all these. Oh look, the water has to be held in a jar or else it escapes because the gravity is not real.
Mhm.
Like, fine, take a road trip, go find the center of or go find the edge of the fucking Earth, and then
Shit, I love pictures of that.
jump. And just jump. Please.
You know, honestly, if the Earth were flat, that would be a really fucking awesome vacation spot. Just the edge of the
Oh
Earth.
hell yeah, that'd be fucking great. But what's under the Earth?
Oh, dude, you know what would be awesome if it was kind of like. Do you remember the animated Sinbad movie?
No, I didn't see that one. I really wanted to for the longest
Oh,
time.
dude, we got to watch that sometime. The villain's really cool in that. They have a really cool depiction of Eris.
Got us a Discord?
Yep, that's the one. She's the main villain.
Oh wow.
Yeah, some of her monsters include the constellations themselves. It's really cool.
Ooh. I remember the animation looking really fun. Like I wanted to see it for a long time. It was made by the same guy that did the Prince of Egypt, wasn't it? Same animation style.
I believe it was DreamWorks. Yeah.
So,
I don't know individual people involved.
Yeah,
but
sorry, my bad.
I think it was
yeah,
DreamWorks.
the same company that did it because the animation looked the same.
Yeah. I think it's a little better in Sinbad, as I recall. Well, some of it. Like the environmental stuff is better, but the monsters not quite as much, but it's still serviceable. Anyway, but in that movie, when you got to the edge of the Earth, it was like, okay, so you find the edge of the Earth, and instead of the water going down, it's going up, making a giant wall.
But we would see that.
Right, we would see that. I'm just saying that would be fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Also, how does that... Wait.
What?
So, can you get through the wall?
I believe they pushed past it to meet with Eris in her own little realm. I think. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I would so be down to watch it with you. I have it on DVD. We can watch it tonight if you wanted.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Don't know about tonight. I have to find out what I'm doing tomorrow. But
we'll figure out what you're doing tomorrow, then we'll see if we can watch it tonight. Anyway, next point.
Next point. How do we debunk this?
Okay, gravity.
Strong enough to hold oceans in a spinning ball. Weak enough. Birds are hollow.
Yeah, it's like
they weigh nothing. Mass is still a thing.
Yeah, and believe it or not, like the effects of gravity are relative to your mass, and
it's like, okay,
the entire ocean has more mass than this tiny hollow bird that, by the way, if it stops flapping his wings, guess where it goes?
Into the ocean.
If it stops riding the air, if it stops riding the wind and just like holds its wings together, guess where it goes? It gets pulled the same place the ocean's getting pulled to. The bigger you are, the more you're affected by the Earth's fucking pull.
I was really hoping you were going to say
the what?
The harder you fall. I was really hoping you were about to say it.
I mean, technically. Though density's also a figure to keep in mind.
It's weak enough that birds can still fly. Okay, have you tried jumping? Does that feel pretty strong to you?
Yeah.
It's like birds are weaker than you. You could punch a bird and it'll explode into pink mist and feathers, yet you can't fly. Does that mean that perhaps the bird has adapted to, I don't know, have some sort of physique capable of allowing it to fly? Maybe its feathers are designed to be light enough and capable of collecting enough air to allow it to lift itself off the ground?
It's
Perhaps
it's just
the wind can actually fuck with the bird if the wind's too strong. Which is really funny to see. I like watching birds go.
oh yeah, when they're trying to fly
I
this
got
way, but then the wind starts going against them. They're like,
okay, I got it. There it goes again.
that's always fun. But okay, so
So next point, immediately debunked. So
Okay.
strong it holds, but too weak to hold. Jesus Christ!
same thing. It's the same thing again. Though to be honest, I actually do kind of like. I mean, the quality is shitty, but I do like the picture.
Oh yeah.
Like that is a cool picture. Just in concept.
Sail away, sail away, sail away.
Hashtag Verumbellator. Could you Google
All
that real
right.
quick?
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold that there for a second.
Hashtag Flat Earth. Hashtag Gravity Hoax. Hashtag Globes Yop.
Yup.
Or
Wait, hold on.
Globesy OP. I guess the globe is kind of OP when you think about it. See, it's all a
Globe
conspiracy.
psyop?
It's all a conspiracy.
Oh,
by the
globe
Globetrotters.
psyop.
Oh, psyop. Oh, okay.
Psychological operation. I got
All
you.
right, gotcha.
Okay, so work me through this. How do I spell that? Verum.
VERUM
VERUM. Okay.
BELLATOR.
Ater. Oh, that's a guy.
Verumbellator.
So what's this guy on Twitter?
Who is this dude?
He's the son of the moon.
I'm sorry,
No,
what?
literally, there's a guy's name on Twitter called the son of the moon.
That's
Okay, so Verum, he's a guy on Twitter
okay.
that's got a picture of the Earth being round.
Okay.
Okay, maybe that's a different guy because there's like two accounts. One of them has a 1, one of them is just Verum Bellator. So he's definitely a flat Earth guy.
Okay, so it's just someone in the flat Earth movement.
Actually looks like just pretty much a conspiracy guy.
Okay.
The truth doesn't fear an investigation, and it's got that Brazers thing with like 5 black guys with this one white chick, and it's got Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Vimeo, NASA, the Earth plane. It's like
that's awesome though. You send me that picture? You just save that and send it to me over Discord, please.
here you go.
I need this in my life. That sounds amazing. Alright, what is it?
Hotspot.
Oh my god, the second picture's fucking... Okay, I just want this first one. Copy
Also,
link.
that hotspot is just my Wi-Fi. You're welcome.
Woo. Okay. Yes, save to desktop. Okay, let's get that picture. Let's get it on screen. I want everyone to see this. A flat earther, I am not. A lover of a good meme, I am.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A 3D shape is described by its edges, faces, and vertices. A sphere has 0 faces, and the guy says, "We live on the face of the Earth." Surface. Surface. Face. Continue, dumbass. Yeah, this guy's an idiot, but he's got funny pictures.
That picture's great. Oh, man. Okay, so
What's
next,
going on in the chat? We keep ignoring people, and I'm sorry.
why is flat Earth even a thing, though? I don't know. Like, all right, so I get the idea. All right, so I follow it to a point. Like, it's okay. Earth's not round; it's flat. All right, so that's the theory. Okay, and it's the government and literally every corporation, every government, everyone working together to make sure you don't know it's flat. But I've never heard why. I've never heard why.
I'm just wondering why it's such a big deal. Why does it matter if the Earth is flat? Cool. If it's not, cool.
I mean,
Does it do anything for you? Does
it
suddenly figuring out the Earth is flat, like, cause you to gain superpowers, or
like, it would
like
change
what
our
do you get?
understanding of things for sure, but everything would work pretty much the same way. We just have
Yeah,
a
just
better
wondering.
explanation for it
I'm just wondering
if it
what.
were flat and now we
Yeah,
knew. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm just wondering, like, what do you get? What's the end goal? What if?
I don't
Okay, you know
know.
what? What if you proved everybody on this planet wrong and it was flat? What do you get? Just a oh cool.
Yeah, I would like to see more flat Earth videos that go into the why.
Like what is the driving force that makes people want to do this?
Not
That
gravity, that's for sure. But bump.
play the video.
All right, it's just a slideshow, so I'll move ahead. Okay, welcome to the world of liars, CGI, computer-generated imagery. See, NASA's official Earth image of 2012, NASA's official Earth image 2013.
What the hell is that? Can
I don't.
you full screen that?
Um, it's gonna look weird for them, but I can always just get out of it.
No, fuck them.
All right, just so you can see. Um,
Okay, so that's North America and Florida. Okay. But also computer generated imagery could make that image false.
well, they're just saying like NASA just photoshopped these pictures. They've never actually been to space and taken these pictures of Earth.
I get that.
Like, they're just saying, oh,
Um,
it's that. I don't really
Can
know.
you-
Like, first off, I don't know if these are actually official NASA images.
yeah, where's your sightings?
Yeah,
That's the
I would
thing
like.
people don't. That's the thing people don't really do when they do these videos. Is like my information you can cite.
Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe he does. No,
Nope.
I'm not seeing a sighting for
But
the
if
image.
you want to support his Patreon,
If you want to support his, what's the like dislike ratio? 392 likes, 68 dislikes, with 7,875 views. Wow,
shame,
that's. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect that at all.
pathetic, honestly. He also has 130K subscribers.
Well, that's upsetting.
That's incredibly upsetting.
All right, let's see
I
what
don't
else
even
they
have a
got.
channel, and that's upsetting.
Whoa, okay. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. Okay, so this
NASA people.
NASA people. It's NASA lying to the people. um. All right. Well, this is another case of the monster can. You know what I mean?
Hold on. It's good. NASA 5985 dash 4860 dash 4876 and tube deceived HQ deceived.
You having fun?
I am having fun.
Okay. Well, did you know that? Did you know that if you translate Jeff into Spanish, you get jefe, which means the boss? Now, does that mean anything? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean there's a secret Illuminati behind, me being the boss of Earth? Am I the Antichrist they're preparing everyone for? If so, hell yeah!
Are you the baby boss? Boss baby?
Oh God, please no, anything but well, then again, like supreme reign over Earth in exchange for being that terrible Alec Baldwin character. That is a tough call. But I'm gonna have to accept. Jeff is not boss in Spanish. Jefe, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Give me a sec. Wait, oh wait, where's my other?
Damn, that's good cosplay. Holy shit.
Did you find cosplay of Boss Baby?
No. Bloodborne.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, what?
I was watching a boss fight of this thing before I came back on. And holy shit, that's some good cosplay. People have gotten really good recently.
Okay, it's just
like
a word that's
in
very
the last
similar to
5
Jeff. My
years.
bad. My bad. Yeah, if you
Weird.
you take words
be
in one
that
language
NASA.
and convert it to another, like, what does that
Well,
mean? Exactly.
You're taking an acronym, first off. NASA is not the name, it's the acronym of the name.
Well, let's grant them the,
No.
let's just grant them the, like, oh, the acronym spells out the horrible thing. But let's see. I mean, if you took the letters in, I don't know. That just seems like coincidence to me. I don't really see anything behind that.
Because there's not?
Right.
Hey, remember that thing we were talking about in the first video? Where they're trying to derive meaning from things that don't have any?
Right.
Like NASA, I forgot what the actual acronym is. It's like National Astronomy. Hold on. NASA.
It's the North American Space Association, I think.
Thank you. National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
Ah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the National Aeronautics and... You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and do this real quick. Actually, take out the... No, stop. Stop! Okay, so copy. What language did you translate that into?
Hebrew.
Hebrew. Okay.
So apparently, yeah, there it is. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go
NASA.
ahead and translate this into That is not what I meant. Not Hindi, Hebrew. Which. Okay, well this is pretty interesting. I can't pronounce it, but it came out like this. Now,
Let me see.
clearly, that means the devil.
Yeah, it's just like.
Okay, so actually, if you translate it and translate it back to English, it goes back to Director of National Aeronautics and Space.
Huh, that's not far off.
So, where is Earth's not flat?
Oh, and they're all making fun of me for fucking up half and hefe. It's my very own Cov Hefe. Old news. Anyway, what's next?
El Cafefe.
Oh my god, this.
What am I looking at?
It's like, oh, you see on all these different parts of the earth, it looks flat. It's like, yeah, if you put your face directly up to an elephant's ass, you're not gonna know it's an elephant, now are you? Like, if your eyeball is right up against it, you're not gonna know what it is. You need, with something this massive, not unlike the ass of an elephant, you need to back away from it. Especially since you're teeny tiny compared to it. You gotta back away from the elephant's ass for a minute, get far enough away so you can know that it's an ass. Then get the fuck off my elephant ass.
That is not how I took that.
What? Get off the
With
elephant's
something
ass?
with something this massive, you need to back the fuck away from it. Cause it's a big ass.
You can't handle all that elephant ass that close.
You don't want to stand near this ass. You want to back the fuck up, all the way up.
That ass so big, you need a macroscope to scale it down for you.
That, and the funny thing is, you can't. I forgot the term for it, but you can't see that far because eventually it does start to divot. It does start to go down.
Right, if it were
and
completely
turn.
flat, you would see pretty much until the end of it as long as there's nothing in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, and
And
Icky says, "I'm living for this analogy." To which I say, "Anal."
but I forgot the term for it. But there's an experiment that people have done where they've let a boat go off in the
Yeah.
distance. I can't remember that guy's either, but he measured the pole and how much of it he could see after a certain amount of distance. And after that line, it's about 3 miles, it starts to go down. You do
Right.
start to see the curvature of the Earth. And if it was flat, you would never see any deviation. You'd
Right.
never see any differentiation of the boat. You wouldn't see it go down. You'd still be able to see all of it, and it would look exactly as it did when it left.
Right.
So, God, when did I learn that? That was college, I think.
I believe Armored
That was a
Skeptic went
college
over that in one
class.
of his videos.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that was
One of the
him.
Flat Earth
That was
videos he
the
went
one I
over
watched.
was talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that line called? I can't even remember.
I don't know. Horizon?
I want to translate that again.
No, not Horizon. It's
I mean, it is a horizon, but I can't remember what that effect is called.
Oh, and I don't know if Liam's still here, but apparently he popped in earlier just to say hi. Hi, Liam. And there's Lanykins! Or perhaps it's Lanykins. I'm not sure. Let's see. Judy, Bo Booty, Banana Fanet, Fofoody, Fee Fife, Mo Moody. What the fuck? You've been drinking drugs, son. All right, so let's see. What's their next point here? Oh, you know what? I think eventually they're going to talk about what we're talking about. Okay. So the horizon is always at eye level because of the laws of perspective that are observed on our flat Earth. It is irrefutable proof that the Earth is not a globe. If the Earth were completely flat, you would see the edge from everywhere. So I mean, like you would see the end of the Earth. Like if you looked a certain direction, you would see Japan. So long as there was nothing in the way.
Yeah, I mean, if you stood up on Everest and looked out, if the clouds weren't in the way, you'd be able to see everything.
Yeah, it's just like, that's complete bullshit. The reason you don't see to the edge of the Earth or anything like that is because it fucking curves. Like, you can't see that far because there's a fucking curve involved. So after a few miles, you can't quite see.
So, I'm looking at the math for that effect, and oh my god, there's a lot of math. Visual line of sight calculations dependent on Earth's curvature. Oh god.
All right, so I think this part of the video is actually going over what we were just talking about with the sight line.
Which thing?
With the experiment with the boat. I think this part goes over it. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing he used.
Okay, I can't quite measure that, obviously, but
It also kind of just looked like it popped out of popped out of view at one point. Can you put it in slow motion, like half speed?
Yeah, sure.
Also, mute it so the music doesn't sound all distorted and fucked up.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so let's...
Do.
Yeah, the music's not exactly pivotal anyway. All right.
I just want to see. Actually, you know what? Pause it real quick.
Okay.
If it was that far out, I'm assuming this guy's holding it like a hand camera, possibly.
Yeah.
That would not be that steady.
My thing is more that doesn't look like it's more than 3 miles.
Could be, but
you know what I mean?
yeah. Keep
like
watching.
it does look far. It like that definitely is an impressive distance. I wouldn't say over 3 miles though.
No, it does shrink out of distance, but you can still see it.
Damn, that is an impressive zoom though.
That is an impressive.
All right, so I mean, without like actual measurements here, I can't really critique it too much. Other than I don't think that was like the right distance. As impressive as that fucking zoom is.
Right, I don't think that's more than 15,000 feet away. Because that would be half of as far as the plane travels up in the air. So
All right, let's see what else they got.
That depends. And don't quote me on that. I believe it was 3 miles was the limit to where that starts to happen. And even then, it's only like inches at a time. It's not like, woo, you're gone.
Right. It's very
Like,
gradual.
it's a very gradual change until it gets probably to like 7 miles.
Yeah, like if you watch a boat go out to sea and everything, and you watch it as it goes out and it's going in a straight line, you're gonna see the bottom disappear before the rest of it. Like it goes up, till eventually all you can see is the crow's nest.
Yeah.
By the way, it's an awesome name for that.
And even then, that's way out of the visual line of sight. I think we can only see like 5 miles tops without any assistance.
Well, then that would be the number then, wouldn't it? 5 miles before it starts disappearing.
Without visual aid.
Hmm.
Like, as a guy showed us when he zoomed out, we couldn't see that fucking buoy.
Yeah, it was too tiny.
Yeah, so once it goes out to a certain distance, we wouldn't. It's like looking at a plane up in the sky.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's
you
more.
could see the tiny dot flying, but without visual aid, you couldn't really tell what that is.
Right. Nikki brings up, you can't measure that. How is it helpful to the argument? Why was that in the video though? Yeah, it was supposed to be debunking the Horizon experiment that we talked about, where like I just said, like if you watch a boat, a really a big ass boat, so you can see it all the way through, since it has to go miles. You see the bottom disappear, like you see it disappear over the horizon, like you see the bottom, like your line of sight of the boat, it starts going up from the bottom of the ship until all you can see is the crow's nest, and then it just kind of disappears over the curve. But with that, there weren't any numbers involved in that one. They didn't tell us how far that was. It was a teeny tiny thing they were measuring. They were using as the measure, or as the object.
Plus, things viewed through a video camera can be distorted.
True.
Like,
true.
It's hard to measure distance based on that.
Yeah.
Like, if you were standing there, you might even be able to see it, because I know certain cameras that do have that issue with, like, what am I trying to say? Displaying distance properly, because I know when I was recording from my video camera a while back, I had a hard time of seeing something that was like, I was 190 feet up. It didn't look 190 feet up. It only looked like 80.
Yeah, I've had issues with cameras too with that. So I mean that's just a point.
Word?
That's just a point in favor of, hey, have some actual numbers on there that we can work with. What I mean? Either way, it's not helpful to you or the other side. It's just like, oh, it's a video of a buoy that's far away. You know what I mean? We need actual numbers to go off of.
That and plus the Earth's so massive as it is that really couldn't have been more than a couple miles out.
Right, and we got a new person in chat named Artichoke Me Harder Daddy. Says, wait, are we discussing Flat Earth theory? We're going over one Flat Earth video as our last crazy person video for the day. Then we're going to go into a different segment to end the show on. But yeah, we are going to a Flat Earth video.
Wilma Flintstone.
Yeah, someone was asking, for anyone that can't see chat, in the VOD, that someone's asking who Fred Flintstone's wife was.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see this. Okay,
yeah, probably should say that. Just, I forgot these things become VODs, so I just randomly say Fred Flintstone.
Okay, so sun go down. Or wait, is it going up? Vanishing Point. That was it. That was the name of it. Vanishing Point.
Fucked up the joke by putting mutt in there twice. And also, probably, my dick's massive enough it might.
It goes beyond the vanishing point. See, I don't know what was the point of showing the sun?
I don't know. It almost seems like it hurts their theory more.
I don't really know. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Okay, so they should have just had it like this. Like, this is more helpful. Just, maybe tilt the picture a little bit so it lines up a little better. All right, so I guess the point is that with how far away the sun is, it should be going below the vanishing point. But the sun is millions of miles away and is fucking gigantic. It's not the same as having a ship go over the horizon. This is something that you could fit thousands of Earths in. You know what I mean? So that's not really helpful if that's what they're going with here. Let's see. You can give a person knowledge, but you can't make them think. Oh my god, that is such Facebook cringe. Some people want to remain fools only because the truth requires change. You got anything on that one, Logan? We cannot hear you, friendo. There,
sorry.
There was the sound.
Okay.
There we go.
My bad, I forgot I muted it. I was saying that 1,300,000.
We're getting a lot of background noise.
How?
I don't know. Like, your quality
How?
went down too. Are you using a different mic?
No. How about now?
That's a little better, yeah.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know. You sound a little better.
I was saying that 1,300,000 Earths can fit in the sun. First
Jesus
off,
Christ.
you can give a person knowledge, but you can't make them think.
Facebook cringe.
Yeah. So what does that say about you?
It's like, okay, some people want to remain fools only because the truth requires change. Like, okay.
Okay, so what does that say about you? Because there's so much evidence debunking. Thousands of people have debunked flat Earth, yet you refuse to admit defeat because we still haven't figured out the why.
Yeah, I still want to know the why behind flat Earth theory. Like, why would they want to make everyone think it's a globe?
But we have...
Do the people selling globes own all the governments in the world? That would be crazy. Like, it's literally just to sell globes. Ooh, maybe they have a vested interest in the Globetrotters as well.
Jesus Christ.
They can't be a basketball team if the ball's flat.
Don't. Frisbee golf.
That wouldn't be as cool, though.
Don't you knock Frisbee golf.
I'm saying it wouldn't be as cool, the Globetrotters playing Frisbee golf. Let's be honest. Like, their crazy courtside antics wouldn't be quite the same.
You don't know that.
But as for stuff like this, like, they don't like change because they don't like the truth because it requires change. It's like,
it's a double-edged sword.
If you can, like, if someone proves shit to me that I don't believe now, like, granted, you have to try a little harder because I'm coming from the other end of it, obviously. So I'm a little more naturally inclined towards the other, towards my own opinion, obviously. So it's a little more difficult. But, I mean, if someone can prove to me something like, hey, this is absolute proof of the flat Earth, this is absolute proof of God, this is absolute proof that Trump's a good president. If you can throw shit like that, I'll accept it. Like, if you can show me that it's true, I will accept it. I don't normally put in the cringy Trump bashing, but it was the only other thing that came to mind in the split second. You know what I mean? Like, I'll definitely accept it. I might not be happy about it, but I'll admit it. I mean, earlier, Arthur corrected me on my Spanish. I was embarrassed, but I rolled with the joke, and I accepted. Like, oh yeah, that is, half is different from half A. All right.
Oops. But you're willing to accept that instead of creating this whole conspiracy theory that, no, man, it's the same thing. You see, if you take the J and the H and you stretch out the H like this, like you flip this one end over here, it makes the J, which means Hefe is Jeffe, and fuck you.
No, you see, the route I would have gone is, well, you see, normally Hef isn't Hefe, but my middle initial is A, so my name is actually Hefe. Hefe, boss, there we go.
Your middle name is A, all right, and I'm not gonna say why.
All right. Icky says, okay, but are snow globe distributors included in the Globe Mafia? Well, here's the crazy thing about that. They actually play for the other side. They're actually flat earthers because I don't know if you've ever taken a close look at a snow globe.
It's flat.
It is flat. Like the earth, the ground on there is completely flat. There's a circular edge around it, and it is encased in a glass firmament, just like many flat earthers believe Earth is. So yeah. There you go. Snow globes prove flat Earth.
I have a question for everyone in the chat.
What, you know, as you read that, I'm looking at this globe person with their finger in the air as if he was asking it. All right, so what's your question to the chat? Will Smith Smith? Will Smith.
Smith Will.
Fucking Yoda.
Ah.
Smith Will. Oh, Christ. All right.
Okay, next slide. This is a double-edged sword that also says you can. Why are we here again?
Yeah, hang on. If the natural physics of water is to find and maintain the level. Wait, hang on. Is it? Are they?
Wait! Stop! We have come full circle. The Earth is round.
We've made it to the same side of the globe, ladies and gents. This video is a globe. Hey, speaking of globes, I believe the next slide
is a globe. Please be a snow globe. Please be a snow globe.
Oh, there it is, the firmament. I was just talking about that. Okay, ancient. Oh god, this text is tiny, but I'll do my best. All right, ancient Hebrew conception of the universe. The ancient Israelites divided the world into heaven, earth, sea, and the underworld.
Yes, ancient.
Yeah.
There's your problem.
They viewed the sky on. Fucking hang on. Can you guys? All right. Well, you guys can see. Sorry, I'm just gonna read it out to you guys.
They viewed the sky as a vault resting on foundations, perhaps mountains, with doors and windows, and let the sun. That let in the rain. God dwell above the sky, hidden in the cloud in majesty. The world was viewed as a disk floating on water, secured or moored by pillars. The earth was the only known domain. The realm beyond it was considered unknowable until we found out. The underworld, Shulf, was what? Shulf was a watery or dusty prison, from which no one returned unless they knew how to swim. Regarded as physical place beneath the earth. It could be reached only through death.
Yeah, pretty much that's old school.
A tiny submarine.
Yeah, that's old school Hebrew understanding of the afterlife, where, you know, when you died, you went to Sheol. It's just kind of it's not really heaven or hell. It's just kind of just neutral space where dead people go.
I mean, I shop at Sheol's all the time, so I don't see why you have to be dead.
But okay, so I guess my counter argument to this would be, if you read all of the novels of Stephen King, you will learn that the universe was created by a giant space tortoise that vomited creation, but then there was an opposite being, a being of consumption, of destruction, who was known to the kids of Derry simply as It. He feeds off of creation, devouring it, and things feeling fear is kind of like salting the meat to it. So yeah, I think that takes priority over this firmament nonsense, personally.
So how do they prove that the Earth is flat?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like these people wandering the desert thousands of years ago thought some crazy shit. What's the proof for it? Nah, they just thought some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like,
look, here's their diagrams. Okay, well, we have very, very much vast amounts of proof that this is not how the world looks.
I think the next time they send a rocket to space, they need to get a flat earther on there.
They need to get a flat earther, and they need to bring a camcorder.
And when I say space, I don't mean like, oh, they're going to the moon. Like, no, like way out there, way the fuck out there.
You just want to get rid of a flat earther, don't you?
Well, that too, but I mean, you know, we've had dudes and NASA send video from like satellites and shit. I say we do the same thing, get a actually good crew up there, get a flat earther with them, and just take them along for a ride. You know what I mean? Say, hey, you're gonna go up here, you're gonna film yourself, you can pick your camera and everything, have fun.
But this is just conspiracy, man. We're not actually out in space.
Just like,
All right.
oh,
Jump.
we're not really in space. You just shook the rocket a bunch, and this is all video projectors outside the window. Well, give me a second to put on my helmet, and you can open the window.
Actually, you were right. We're still in Universal.
the astronaut looks out like, holy shit.
You can see the camera guy there, and it's just a guy in a spacesuit waving at him, floating along with the ship.
Oh, God. There's like a guy outside just like pushing on the rocket.
Well, if
have
you
a good
look
night,
down,
Liam.
you can see the tracks. That's it.
All right, let's see what's next. What else they got? Oh, they stay on this one for a while.
Probably so you can read the tiny text.
Yeah. Okay, so that's more of the same on this, just zooming in on there.
Yes.
Here we
Not
go.
only do they not know the Earth is flat, but they do not know that people know how to use the pause button.
Of course, the Bible said it.
The
Again,
Earth is flat.
I
It's
refer to
Psalm
you to Stephen King's
24.
It.
Earth does not move.
Earth rests
Okay,
on
so-
pillars.
Okay, so the Chronicles of Narnia says the Earth don't move.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, like, this isn't exactly a credible source. Can you do a little closer to what NASA does and go into space, take some pictures, you know?
You know, I want to know what the Bible says about treating infections, or like how to set a broken bone, or like I don't know, anything to do with medicine, and see how well that turns out. The Bible says the Earth don't move. Okay, what does that do for you? I don't know.
But yeah,
Okay, so what happens if I say the Earth does move and I have proof to back it up? I don't know. That's what I thought.
oh my God, do you see the crossover on screen, Logan? Earlier, I was using Stephen King as a way to make fun of the Bible, but if you look at Job 37:18, there's a glass dome above the earth, just like in that Stephen King book. Except it was over a town.
Or did Stephen King just take reference from the Bible?
I think Stephen King wrote the Bible.
I think Stephen King is the Bible.
Stephen King, greatest author of all time, confirmed.
He was there.
He was there.
He was there when the old magics were written.
Okay, and it looks like... Yeah, the rest of it's just more firmament stuff. It's all pretty much the same.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so I'm going to take just like a minute to go pee real quick because I've been holding it in this entire time, and that was not
Oh,
a great idea.
yeah, I have two.
Oh, you too? All right, so we'll be back in a good minute. I'm going to leave you guys with the Be Right Back screen, and when we come back, we'll be doing a new segment. So, yeah.
Hold on, before you go.
Yeah.
Astronauts high on science and low on intelligence. Okay, fine. You hop in the rocket and go up. Show them how stupid they are. You do the calculations. You take this RPG into space and tell me how well that goes. Because you're
Right.
so smart. You know
Right.
more than people who've done this for hundreds of years. Fuck you, flat earthers.
All right, so we'll be right back, fellas.
That's it.
And lady. Well, at least one confirmed lady. All right, so bam and bam. Whoops. Oh, no. Go back here. Play the music. Enjoy the dancing Flanders. Okay. All right, I guess we're just waiting on Logan, unless you got here first. There we are. Woo! I just ran up those stairs. That going, that's a... And now stop sharing screens. Yeah, my bitrate will appreciate that. Ugh. I saw this at Chip and Diddles once. Oh, Chip and Diddlies. Oh, I get it. I get it. I'm not fapping, Arthur, as much as you would love to picture such. Let's see, Ned Flanders dancing is just too much sexiness to handle. I know, right? That's why I put 2, double the fun. Too much for the human mind to comprehend, but you know it's there. You know it's there. Ah, fan. Also Logan.
I was holding that in for.
What?
I was holding it in for 3 hours.
Jesus. Also, your
Also,
fan
I
is loud again for some reason. Hang on, keep talking.
Also,
All right, now it's not. Okay. I do everything on my own.
I apologize. I had to get snacks to help the bullshit go down.
Yeah, all good. All right, this last bit's going to be a lot easier, I think. All right, so Lane had suggested something as a topic for a V.A.S.T episode, and it just kind of gave me the idea of maybe each episode we can take a question or just a general topic from anyone that wants to submit one, and we can just kind of discuss it as our last bit of the show.
Mm-hmm.
No video or anything, just kind of, they give us a general question or a topic, and we just talk about it,
All right, who feels like being submissive?
He actually already got one from Lane. He sent me this, and it just kind of triggered the idea in my head, like, oh, why don't we do this? Let me find it. Where did you go, Lane? Wait, where the hell did your message go? Jesus Christ. A lot of people messaged me since you sent me that. God damn. Okay, so Lane sent in this. Okay. All right, so discuss the boundaries of what jokes are too far, personal boundaries and versus societal boundaries. So can a joke go too far in your personal opinion?
Oh, absolutely.
How so?
Depends on timing, the person you're joking with, or depending on if it's a wider scale, depending on the people you're around.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the topic and what the topic relates to. Jokes are a weird gray line, depending. Because there's always a chance you're going to offend somebody in a larger scale. But it also really does depend on what is being talked about, when it's being talked about, and how it's being talked about. For example, rape jokes. Generally, not funny. Still laugh.
Well,
because it depends on the context, and depending on who it's from. Like, we know for a fact rape is bad.
Yeah.
And, if we ever did catch a rapist, I myself would beat him to an inch of his life and then throw him in jail. Like, it's not okay. Nor will it ever be okay.
Right.
But that said, dark humor does exist.
Yeah, and a lot of rape jokes kind of rely on the fact that the people hearing the joke are already of the opinion that it's bad. It's the only way the joke really works for the most part.
Yeah, it's like, and another more widely accepted for whatever reason joke, jokes about dying.
Yeah.
Like, that's equally as bad. Joking about death is not a fun experience. And the person who dies, well, they died. But, typically the jokes are said lightly. They're not meant to be taken seriously. Fun fact, they're jokes. But it just depends on your timing. Because if you don't want to make a rape joke in front of someone that was raped recently or at any point in their life. Not going to go well.
Right.
Or someone who recently had someone die in the family. You don't want to make those kind of jokes around them. But if you want to joke around your friends that, typically you're desensitized to a lot of the stuff and you can make those jokes, they're not going to come off as horribly. They'll be a little bit more acceptable at that point. Fuck. It's hard to explain because it is such a weird gray area. Because on one hand, some jokes are acceptable, but at the flip of a hat, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Just whoop, no longer acceptable.
Yeah, I would say, personally, all jokes are okay.
Yeah, personally, they're
yeah,
fine.
Like,
I
all
just
jokes are
understand
okay. I agree that,
they're just some things you don't do.
I mean, I wouldn't so much say that. I'm not so much in the idea of, like, telling people you can't say this around these people or stuff like that. I would just say...
So, I'm about to say a word that's going to get you demonetized. Are you sure you want to keep going down that route?
Hang on. I would say that to people telling jokes and stuff, know your audience.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Like, in that regard, there's some things you don't do. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with it. It's just you don't want to say certain jokes to certain people under certain conditions. That's it.
Yeah. And yeah, that's a good rule to go by. People telling jokes, you should know who your audience is. If you know it's gonna, like, trigger some bad shit, I would personally refrain from telling it in that context. But they just know that if you knowingly say some, like, heavy, dark, jokey shit around someone you know that's going to affect, you gotta expect them to get really pissed off. Like, you knew going in what the reaction was going to be, so you're just being a little shit stirrer at that point. But when it comes to public stuff, like, let's say Twitter, for example, someone tweets out a joke that's not tasteful, like, the guy that played Ravi Rotten died recently. Someone makes a joke about, like,
Wait, what?
the SpongeBob.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, he died.
What the how?
Cancer.
Jesus.
Cancer's a bitch, dude. But yeah, like, if someone came around and, made jokes, like the SpongeBob reference, he was number one. Like, first off, I'm gonna laugh my ass off because that's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is funny.
that is really funny. But
I'm a horrible person.
Oh yeah, it's still funny. You say, like, okay, if someone says that and, like, and you think it's distasteful, like, it's a public space, you can just ignore them. Just move on. Done.
So,
if they're saying it to you, knowing that you will be upset by it...
Oh, they're fuckheads.
Yeah, then they're fuckheads. Then, yeah, feel free to, like, lay into them. If, they say something, they make a joke that's, triggering, or legitimately triggering, to you, and they didn't know that going in, kind of maybe don't treat them as if they did know that going in, and just be kind of like, oh, hey, that's kind of a touchy subject for me. Would you mind if we don't, joke or talk about that? Just between us. Don't try to control their language with people, outside of you.
Cat.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, we run into tons of people that do that, and it's fucking annoying. But yeah, and if the person's not respectful of that, then it's probably someone you don't want to hang around anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah, like, just in general like that. I think people have become too sensitive to jokes, but at the same time, people should be catering to their audience to an extent. You know what I mean?
It depends.
Yeah, like,
it's all situational. That's it.
Tailor it to your audience.
Like, if you're trying to make a general joke, some people are going to like it, some people aren't going to like it. The people that don't like it, ignore it.
Right.
Like, if it's not meant for you, don't put your 2 cents in.
Yeah, like, if someone...
You yourself are offended about it. These people are not.
Yeah, like, if someone... Like, there's so many times on Twitter where someone will make, like, I don't know, a joke about trans people or a joke about gay people or a joke about insert group here. And people like start, you know, Twitter hate mobs where they like start contacting their employers and shit and releasing their private information and telling the employer, "Oh, your person did this. You need to fire them because they're, you know, shitheads," and stuff like that. Like, if you're doing that, fuck you. You're a terrible person for doing that. Someone told a joke you didn't like, so you're gonna go out of your way to destroy their life. Fuck you. I don't care what the joke was. You don't do that.
I don't care if the joke affected you personally. Like, if it was meant for you, you don't do that.
Yeah, fucking ignore it.
You take it up with that person. That's another thing I can't stand.
Everyone taking
is
everything personally.
No, well, yes, but no. The point I was going to go to, and this is something that's bothered me since I've been 12, but just people can't handle their own shit. They always have to get some higher up, I win sort of person involved.
Right.
Like, they can't just settle things in an argument or even a fist fight. Like, if you get pissed off and you just deck the guy, you can't settle it like that. You have to get the authorities. You have to get their boss involved. It's like, fucking someone hits you, you run up to their mom and be like, "Ah, they hit me." And it's like, what were you doing? "I called them an asshole." Well, you deserved it. Like, no one does that. It's always just like, you have to get someone involved. Mind you, there are situations where getting someone involved is better,
For sure.
but it's just you can't handle it yourself anymore. Parents can't discipline their kids. You can't handle your own fights at school without someone getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that needs to stop. That just has to stop.
Yeah,
Because it
like
just makes a problem for everybody else, because then you're afraid to do anything without some fucking vigilante getting involved and making it worse.
right, and it kind of, and you know that kind of thing. Okay, if they're doing something that's legitimately harmful, like if they're going out of their way, to cause harm with something, like if they're constantly, you know, for example, like they're making tranny jokes towards someone that's actually trans, and you know it's triggering to them, and then you know the trans person blocks them, but then they make a new account, but then the guy making the joke makes a new account to keep fucking with them. If it's following that pattern of behavior, and that at that point, yeah, get someone else involved, because that's like straight up fucking harassment.
Yeah, get someone to block their IP.
Yeah, like yeah, just something. If it starts getting to that level, but when it's at the level of like someone said something I don't like just ignore them or tell them to fuck off and move on. Either way, the important part is move on. Whatever.
Yeah,
I see shit I don't like. I see shit I don't like on Twitter all the time. I actually follow people that tweet a bunch of shit I don't like. Like, it's just, if I don't like it, I don't like it. If I disagree with it and I think I have a good point, I might respond to it. Just like, hey, you know, here's my view on this bullshit.
I block people on Facebook with shit I don't agree with.
Yeah,
not like right off the bat, but if it keeps going on and on, I'm just like, okay, you're just regularly pissing me off. Goodbye.
The block function exists.
I haven't, like, and the thing is, I never said anything to them except like maybe one time.
Right.
I think I tried with this one person one time, and I was just like, "Why are you doing this?" And they gave me an asshole response, and then at that point, I'm just like, "Okay, goodbye."
Yeah.
But it's like, imagine getting catcalled on the street and then getting the mafia involved. Was there a need to do that? Did it need to escalate to this?
Right.
No? Okay. All you do is you get catcalled, you flip the guy off, you tell him to fuck off, you do any number of things, and hey, good job, you get a gold star for handling it yourself, instead of like, okay, so you got their boss involved. Nice. So he whistled at you and you ruined his life. He thought you were cute, he was a bit of a dick about it, and you ruined his life.
Right.
Wow. I bet you feel so powerful.
That being said, catcalling's creepy.
It's creepy, for sure,
Yeah,
but there are ways to handle it that aren't, I'm going to get you fired.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's a... But yeah, when it comes to jokes and shit, people need to get thicker skin in general. They need to learn how to ignore and move on with stuff that's not really harming anyone, and it just offended you. Like, if it offends you, oh no. in a
Oh no.
in a public in a public setting. If it's a private interpersonal thing, you know, whatever, just tell them like, hey, you know, it's kind of, you know, I don't like that shit. Would you mind if we don't, you know, do that?
Hey Jeff,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this around again.
Oh no.
I know, but we went full circle twice.
How
This,
so?
the beginning video we looked at,
Yeah.
the guy just needed to get thicker skin. It was a stupid throwaway joke that didn't mean anything. He made this big video about how Disney's trying to censor Christians or make fun of them and blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
And I'm saying we've come full circle twice because I've made that joke twice.
Right, and it's
The Earth is now twice as round.
we did east and west the first time. Now we went north and south.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your Earth has shape.
Earth thick.
The Earth thick as fuck. It is now a sphere. The Earth is sphere.
It don't got spheres. It is sphere.
But yeah, like I'm gonna talk about that first video again for just a second. Just get
Right.
thicker skin. It was a stupid one-liner joke making fun of the way he talked. That's it. Had nothing to do with Christianity. Had nothing to do with making fun of Jesus or saying that, oh, we're trying to censor you people. Like, no, it's just a fucking joke.
Right.
Which I really wish I made this one up because I like this line that it's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. But it's true.
That's really
People
good.
take-
Did you make that up?
No,
Okay.
I really wish I did.
Ah.
But it's true. It's just people take things so hard and so literally. It's just a joke.
Right.
If you're getting offended by people saying something to you that you don't like and you go out and you cause this big riot, you're an asshole
Yeah, and it's not
and
so.
you're an idiot.
And you know, it's not so much that like I don't know. It's not so much like, oh, you're offended, so you know I don't like that you're offended, and I think it's bullshit that you're offended. It's more how people handle it.
Right. No,
I
if you're
think there is a
offended,
distinction.
everyone gets offended.
Yeah, everyone gets
everyone
offended
gets
by
offended.
something.
I
I
get
get offended by
offended.
shit. But
I get offended, you get offended, everyone gets offended. It's a thing. It's just, you know, are you the kind of person that gets offended and says fuck you and then walks off and then, you know, that's it? Or are you the kind of person that gets offended and causes a riot about it?
right, like you know, when I'm in the car, if someone like it's not really, it's not a joke, but the concept still applies. Okay, so after the car crash I got into in what was it, 2014, 2015?
Sounds about right.
I'm extremely panicky when I'm driving.
Little
And
bitch.
anytime there's a car crash sound on the radio, or if someone's talking about crashing cars and shit while I'm driving, it makes me really paranoid. Extremely paranoid. And every once in a while someone will say something like that. I don't blow up in their face about it, even though I'm fucking terrified that I'm about to die. You know what I mean? Like, I try my best to keep my composure because, A, I'm driving. and B, I just say something like, hey, would you mind not talking about that while I'm driving? I kind of have a thing about that because, you know, I got into an accident way back when. You know what I mean? I'm not a dick to them. You know what I mean? Because I know they weren't intentionally trying to hurt me with that. You know what I mean? It was just an offhand comment. They didn't know it would have the effect it had. And I was just like, you know, would you mind not doing that? Can you don't?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's how I handle it.
That's how you're supposed That's how you're supposed to handle it.
Right.
Like, if they are intentionally trying to make you paranoid, like, hey, that guy's getting real close to you, dude. Oh man, look at that truck. He's getting a little too close in your lane, man. Like,
Oh,
if they're
God,
doing
I get
that, then yeah.
I get
Look,
that all the time.
Including the one we were in, which wasn't really a crash. It was just kind of a spin out, which was kind of funny. I was still entertained by that.
Mhm. Wait,
that
which
was
one?
fun.
Was
Oh,
that?
the one where we ended up on the side of the road on the bank.
Oh, is that the one where we almost went off the side?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one.
I'm sorry, that was fun for me. I know it really almost sucked, but that was fun for me.
We could have died. For those who don't know, we spun out in the snow. Well, didn't really spin out, but
No, we just
we
caught some
lost
black
control
ice
on
the
the
back
on the
end,
ice
yeah.
and almost went off the side. Not really a cliff, more of like the edge of a gully. So
Which
yeah, we would have
would've
gone.
still sucked,
Yeah, we
but-
would have gone down like what 15 to 20 feet and smacked some trees.
Yeah, which I mean, we could have died, we could have lived. It would have been really
Yeah.
fun. Fun story to tell our kids that we're not gonna have.
Yeah.
But just God, I'm not paranoid driving. I've also been in an accident myself, like a real bad one.
Mm-hmm.
But there is nothing I like about driving next to a truck
Oh God, yeah.
at all. God, I cannot stand that shit. I'm not a paranoid driver. Like I'm an aggressive defensive driver where I'm going to drive 5 over, but I'm still making sure that no one's doing stupid shit and I can react to it immediately.
Right.
But I'm also the kind of guy that will pass cars actively.
Yeah,
It's a mixture of both. But nothing is fun about driving next to a semi truck that you don't know if it can see you or not.
yeah. Well, that's just kind of a natural and logical like apprehension because out of all the cars on the road, they probably see the least to their sides and behind them, especially behind them. And when it comes time to stop, they take the longest.
Yeah, which I cannot stand people cutting off trucks.
Don't
I
cut
get
off
pissed
trucks.
I get pissed off. And actually, I know he would lose his job. I want the truck to run the fuck over him. Because I've been in that situation. I've told you where I was driving that pickup truck, some fucker cut in front of me. I can't stop. Like, everything on this truck is making it so I cannot stop fast. And also, the ice on the road doesn't help. So, when this guy cut in front of me and hit on his brakes, and I had to go from like 30 to 10, that. Whew, there was a split second where I'm like, should I just hit the guy?
Yeah, and you know when it comes to like the big trucks and shit on the road, treat them like royalty.
Yeah.
You give them all the space in the world they need, and understand that it takes them a very long time to stop because of the weight.
Yeah, it's like a fat guy at a Sonny's barbecue. Just give him space.
And I think they tend to have some leniency. Like they understand the logic of momentum when it comes to issues with trucks. Like at the place I used to work, we had an incident where this woman who had apparently escaped a mental institution. It was in the snow. She was naked, running around in the road. The truck driver did not see her until too late. He slammed on the brakes. She was dead as fuck. Like, she got splattered. Because he was hauling... Oh, God, it was a big truck. He was hauling, like, I think, like, furniture or car parts, one of the two.
Oh, he's not stopping.
Yeah, like, there's no way... He still tried, but there was no way he could have stopped in time.
Oh, see ya.
Hey, see you later, Jamie.
But, yeah, my friend was a truck driver. He told me, God, it depends on what you're hauling and the kind of truck, but it can take anywhere from like 10 to 15 seconds to stop completely.
Right.
Depending on how fast you're going, how fast you're going to stop, because typically truck drivers are trained to be able to stop fast enough.
Right.
But, like, it depends. If you're on a high, if you're doing 70 and all of a sudden this fucker runs in the middle of the road, you're not stopping.
Right. Okay, so originally I was going to save Arthur's comments for future shows, but I think we can get through these pretty quickly. All right, so the first one, this should be a short one, I think. How do you feel about people saying that video games are not art?
They are.
They are.
I talked to a guy and tried to convince him. I mean, this was also the guy that said I was racist and I was just making up excuses when I had black friends, but...
You're not? Go ahead.
To be fair, there's this guy I work at that I make the joke that he's Jamal and his name's Elijah. It's just like because I'm personally bad with names, so I will say the first thing that pops into my head. And the first thing that came up for him was Jamal, and they're just like Elijah, and I'm like, yeah, that fucker. But
What's worse, the fact that you called him Jamal, or they immediately know who you're talking about?
well, he was the new guy at that point. I didn't
Yeah.
know his name, but now it's a running joke that I just call him Jamal.
Oh, Christ.
But yeah, I tried to convince this guy that it was art, and I'm like, the imagery, the music, just the backgrounds they put in these places that you can explore, and he's just so adamant about saying, no, they're not, no, they're not, no, they're not. I'm like,
It's
what's the difference between this and a picture? I can take a screenshot of this, put it on my wall, and it looks exactly even better than your painted photo here. Like,
it's
what's
a
the difference?
combination of a bunch of different. It's a giant interactive art piece, is what it is. It's kind of like
It
film,
is.
you know. It's a combination of like, you know, it's a combination of like paintings and camera angles and music and just the visual designs and
But even
to an
that,
extent, just the game mechanics themselves can be considered something of an art form.
oh yeah, Devil May Cry. Like, even
Oh.
DMC, we hate that game, but it's an art form the way he moves.
Yeah, the mechanics were so good.
God, I wish the game was better. Good thing Devil May Cry 5 is coming out, but
Yeah, that's
it's
gonna be
like
good.
take its individual pieces even. Just oh wait, hold on. Oh, King, I was reading comment, but it's like take the individual pieces where you have the visual design. You see things even in a 2D game really, but like think of Skyrim for example. A
Mm,
really good example of this. Stand on top of a mountain and just look out.
right.
Or stand in one of their forests and take a picture.
Yeah,
It's breathtaking looking at all that stuff, and it looks like a nature piece. And they go into so much detail with the trees, the flowers, the ambient animals, like the butterflies flying around, the fireflies, the wolves, the bears, everything. And then you
just
have the sound design where you have loud booming orchestral hits where you're fighting a dragon, so you've got this pumping soundtrack behind you making it
right.
feel a lot more epic. Or you're just one of my favorite soundtracks. It's the Night 2, which is the second Night soundtrack you can hear. It's one of the most beautiful compositions in that game and one of the most beautiful I've ever heard.
I am
And
kind of sad that you didn't bring up the greatest example of video games being art. I mean,
hurdy-gurdy.
no. You have things like Skyrim, you have things like Subnautica, but may I humbly suggest Spyro Enter the Dragonfly?
We don't do that here.
But yeah, video games they're about as art as films are. They're just interactive art pieces at that
Yeah.
point. And plus, the definition of art is so broad anyway that pretty much anything could be art, as dumb as that
hell,
sounds.
look at a Picasso piece. It's like, how is that more art than Subnautica?
Right. Let's
Like-
see, Osman, did he make it? We are in the last segment of the show. We are taking questions from the chat and just kind of discussing them real quick.
How long do you want this to go, by the way?
We're at two. You know what? We can spend a little extra time if you have time.
I've got plenty of time. I don't work tomorrow. I'm just trying to see what I have to do in the morning.
Okay.
But
we can spend
regardless,
yeah.
I'm not going to bed till 12, so I've got plenty of time.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, for Osman and Fluffy. Hello, Fluffy. I know you guys came in towards the end. Today we talked about a bunch of crazy people, and we're ending the show on more of a discussion with the chat kind of thing. So Arthur's other one kind of ties into what we were talking about a minute ago. What do you think of people who get easily offended over stupid stuff or how things are? Like how many are complaining about the new She-Ra design on Netflix?
Oh?
They made a new apparently they're making a new She-Ra.
She-Ra the Vampire Samurai?
No, She-Ra as in like the female equivalent of He-Man. It's pretty much He-Man but boobles. But yeah, they changed their design and the design change isn't bad.
She was already a thing.
Yeah, like I'm more upset
Oh, here
that
it
they're
is.
just
Shira
rehashing shit.
reboot. Shira reboot.
Like the design isn't bad, but getting upset over stuff like that, I mean,
Okay, what?
I guess it's a matter of extent. Um, I guess it depends on how far they go. Like, if you're really like, things hold different value to different people. Like, I
Wait,
think
hold on.
most, if not all, Nintendo games are shit, for example. But most people fucking love them.
Hold on. You mean this?
No, it's a cartoon. And let me send you the picture.
Well, I'm looking at the cartoon. I was just wondering because, like, are they talking about like a real thing or like?
No, the reboot's a cartoon as well. Here, I'll send you the picture.
Is it this?
Yep, that's the one.
I kind of like that.
Okay, so let me bring up the images just for the specific example. I know this isn't like the topic itself, so let me just try to go over this real quick.
I
Save
mean,
image. So yeah, but just the idea of people getting upset over something like that. What do you think?
I kind of like. Okay, I can understand some people getting upset over bigger changes. Like, that's dumb. That's just an animation style change. That's
Well, there might be different changes as well. All we have is the picture so far, though.
Yeah, I mean there are slight changes here and there. Overall, she's still got the blonde hair. She's still got the wing cap. It's just not as pronounced. She's still got her battle dress, and she's got pauldrons on it now instead of tit flaps. I don't really see anything too wrong with it. It's just a different style of animation with slightly different design. They didn't truly bastardize the character, I think. I don't know. I've just learned about She-Ra just 5 seconds ago, so who am I to say? But with small changes like that, people getting easily offended over it is absolutely dumb. It's like the changes with Iron Man. Like, oh no, they changed Iron Man's design in this one cartoon. Okay, cool. How about the rest of his comic books? Where he looks a lot better than he did in his original runs. Trust me, he does. But like where I would get offended with character changes would be Black Starfire, because you're not just changing the look, you're changing the whole damn character at that point. Or like Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
You know,
it really is what
it's
changes are being
like
made. But as for people getting upset over that kind of stuff in general, I mean, different things have different values to different people. Some people get really animated about it. I guess it depends on how far they go with it. If it goes to the point where they're actively harassing people involved with the project and making their life a living hell, like going out of their way for that effect, then that's way too much. If it's them bitching online, I mean, that's just venting. I don't have a problem with that.
yeah.
Um,
I
like
mean, even so, like I absolutely hate the new Starfire design,
oh,
but
she looks awful.
I'm not gonna go and tip over a truck because of it. Like that's
Right.
idiotic.
Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to, like, harass the people involved in the project or the actors playing her or anything. It's more like, okay, I'm just not going to... I'm going to make sure that I don't give this project any of my money. Like, I'm not going to sign up for the DC streaming site. I'm not going to watch their show. Like, vote with your wallet, pretty
I'm just not gonna sign up for the
much.
streaming site anyway.
But yeah, there are examples where... where I get pissed about that kind of stuff. Like you said, like the new Starfire looks fucking awful. The whole show looks awful.
Or actually, hey, how about when we bitched about fuck's his name, Dante from DMC?
Oh,
That whole debacle where we absolutely hated the game.
yeah. God, the DMC reboot was like character-wise, story-wise, they butchered the hell out of it.
No characters were
Gameplay-wise
who
was
they
good
were.
though. All the characters were terrible. All of them. Every last one. All of them terrible.
Gameplay design, even level design partially, like the
Yeah.
Techno Realm, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, they had good variety in environments. I'll give them that.
I do think, however, it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as much as I didn't like it, I never wrote a review about it. I just, we just talked back and forth and said how bad it was. That was the extent of our rambling.
Yeah, there's just
Like-
you're allowed to bitch about things. Like people that were fans of Thundercats, seeing the new Thundercats.
Ooh, that hurt me, and I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I saw the anime one where I don't remember it being particularly good, but I don't think it was awful. But when I saw that cartoon, when I saw Steven Universe as the Thundercats, I got a little irritated.
yeah, that Cal art style is just fucking gross.
It's garbage. And then people want to
it's-
say that Cartoon Network has had the same design in their characters for all these years, and no,
there's
they
been a
have
lot of
not.
variety. Like things that are made by the same company tend to have very similar designs. Like let's say Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls,
And the
Samurai
Powerpuff
Jack.
Girls, yeah.
Like
Was
those.
Samurai Jack by the same people? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Professor Utonium. That's right.
Yep.
But
yeah,
even so,
that's just because it's being handled by the similar people and everything, and they shifted. It's not like everyone had the same shaped head and the same everything. Pretty much like it doesn't look like a reskin. It's not quite that level.
and even then,
And the art style
Dexter's
itself wasn't
Lab and
shit.
Oh, and what? Oh yeah, the art style.
Yeah, and the art style itself wasn't cheap shit.
No, God no. Actually, Dexter's Lab was visually pleasing to hell.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty good.
even so, it's like the closest comparison in those three are Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls, and even then, like a lot of the visual style is different. Once it hit Samurai Jack, you could see a little bit of it,
Mhm.
but there was just so much more diversity to it that you couldn't
Yeah.
even fucking tell, except for like the dog episode where it's like, didn't I see you from somewhere before?
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to touch on the original part of this about being easily offended.
Uh-huh.
That's annoying as shit.
Oh yeah.
Like if you are easily offended, I'll
Yeah.
consider myself easily offended under certain circumstances, but like if someone says something and you're immediately offended, even though it's just like a small little jab, then you have a problem.
Yeah,
And
like
you have incredibly thin skin,
It
which
is-
you need to take care of.
yeah, when it comes to my personal opinion on like how easily offended, like okay, being pretty offended on something going from the style of the original or even the anime version of Thundercats to Steven Universe as Thundercats or Gumball as Thundercats. Beanbag head with, just misshapen oval mouth with straight line teeth. Going from that style to that style, I could see that being pretty insulting, especially when they change it from like, I wouldn't say like completely serious and gritty or anything, but just 80s action cheese to that.
You mean like these faces?
Oh, hang on, let me scroll. Oh god. Yeah. But yeah, like going from that style to that style, that kind of adds insult to injury, especially when they change it from 80s action cheese to like what pretty much just
Titans Go.
yeah, pretty much. And they change it to that. I could see that being insulting. But when it comes to now, I don't think there's a whole lot out about the new She-Ra show. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't heard a lot about it in a while. But just specifically the art style, I would say getting super pissy and moany about that. I would say that's a different extent because whereas they went from like that surprisingly detailed 80s style of design and animation to the crappy Cal Arts thing for Thundercats, for She-Ra to go from pretty much the same, 80s action cheese to what looks a little closer to something out of the Black Cauldron.
Actually, no. I think this is this the same animator as the anime Thundercats?
Maybe. I'm just saying like
it looks very close.
the way it looks a little closer to Black Cauldron to me. And that's not a giant insulting leap down, Like, this is where I would say, okay, it's just a different style. All right, whatever. And, changing the outfit and everything, I don't know. I think it looks good.
I like it.
It's very different, but I think it looks good. It's kind of a cool
just-
design.
It's almost like a really lightened Avatar style.
Kind
You know,
of.
like original Avatar, The Last Airbender. Just I don't know if it's because she's glowing, but it looks like a lot of a lighter animation style.
I can see that, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
the
just getting
difference
offended
between the
over fact
animation
that-
styles isn't as terrifyingly bad, you know?
No, but it's also like getting offended. Like not liking it is one thing, but being offended about it. Does your opinion matter?
Yeah. Oh, and for what Arthur brought up, I once heard CalArts students shit on Don Bluth because his style is old style. Like, what assholes? Okay.
I thought you were going to bed.
All right. So, CalArts produces cheap, time-eating shit for Cartoon Network. Don Bluth makes visual masterpieces. Fuck them. He's not
Only
about
exception,
cheap and
Gumball.
Well, wait, which one?
Gumball.
Yeah, Gumball actually has some decent stuff, but it's just that their animation style is based on, okay, how can we produce a lot of this cheaply? Whereas his is, I want to create a goddamn world for people to get, ensnared in, I want them to, I want them to be completely engrossed in this world. I want it sweeping, I want it flowy, I want it beautiful looking. Like,
Yeah,
if you watch his movies, even the bad ones, with the exception of maybe Troll in Central Park.
I'm a bitch.
Yeah, that one was a leap too far. But the majority of his movies, even the rougher ones, they're fucking great to look at. Like, if you watch Anastasia, if you just watch it, the movie itself is like bland as hell. But just in addition to the music, the visuals is just like, God, I could look at this all day.
I had a crush on Anastasia for a very long time.
I do not blame you. She is cute.
Yeah. But are you telling me that Anastasia, Titan AE, The Secret of Nim, pale in comparison to The Fantastic Tales of Gumball?
Amazing Adventures of Gumball and Steven Universe, and just like, all right, you can say that like there's a lot of positives to things like The Amazing World of Gumball and Steven Universe and everything as a show, and I'll probably agree with a bunch of them. Giant leaps forward in animation, they are not. If we're talking strictly animation, they get buried like right out the gate. Sorry. Like, the worst Don Bluth film looks better than the best episode of Steven Universe. Sorry.
I'm not.
Yeah, like, even Troll in Central Park looks better visually.
The big-lipped alligator moment.
That was All Dogs Go to Heaven, and that was a weird fucking scene. I still don't know why it's there.
Does it need a reason to be?
The
The big-lipped alligator.
I don't get the big lipped alligator, man. I love that movie, though.
Oh, wait, hold on. I want to see something real quick. Rock
All right, so
Doodle. Was that a Don Bluth movie?
I think it was.
Fantasy romance. Don Bluth, yeah,
Yeah, it was-
Rockadoodle.
Yeah, Rockadoodle. Where the kid found out he was a furry.
Yeah. I'm a furry. I like that movie. Shut up.
You gotta admit,
I think
that line in hindsight's pretty funny.
it is hilarious. I was a kid. I enjoyed this movie. It was catchy. Even so, like, this isn't one of his better animated movies. It still looks good.
Yeah.
And it's not nostalgia speaking. Let me be clear.
Oh yeah, like I can shit on Don Bluth movies all day if I really wanted to, with the exception of
Like,
a handful. A handful
let's
are like
see.
too sacred to me. I can't do it. Secret of Nim, prime example.
Secret of-
I can't bring
Secret
myself to
Nim
shit
is
on
too
it.
Precious.
Secret of Nim 2, though. We don't speak of this one.
Actually, goddamn, Rockadoodle was really fucking dark at some points.
Yeah.
So,
I love Don Bluth's philosophy of children can handle anything, let's fucking scare them.
he wasn't wrong. I sat through that movie.
Yeah, me too. But maybe not Rockadoodle, but
I did.
oh god. Oh, another famous Don Bluth one, the original Land Before Time.
I was just about to say that.
Good.
Yeah,
Good
look
movie.
at that. That's one of his older movies, and it still looks fantastic.
Yeah, man.
And that he still holds that philosophy, by the way. that is in full effect in Land Before Time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever experienced a motherfucking T-Rex at 3 years old. It's not a fun experience.
Yeah, I like, okay, when your kid's film is doing T-Rex about as terrifying as Jurassic Park did, when it's hitting that level, it's like, you're really not pulling any punches here, are you? Okay,
Which is funny, because I love Land Before Time. I couldn't stand Jurassic Park. I shit my pants. I did not want to be in the room anytime that T-Rex showed up.
yeah, that T-Rex it still holds up pretty damn well.
It does.
Okay, so all right, we're gonna have a last one. Arthur's the only one asking questions today. All right, so last one from Arthur. How do you feel about modern shows? Are they good? Are they bad? Too violent? Too pussified? Tell me.
Hit and miss.
I immediately read that in Yugi's voice. Tell me. Oh, you're about to find out. I'm about to summon it. Why is that not? Why does that meme not carry over? Why has that not lasted? I love that one.
Tell me.
You're about to find out. I'm about to summon it. Oh, Christ. Anyway, but yeah, yeah, like Logan said, it varies from show to show.
Like Amazing World of Gumball, good example of a good show in modern times. I caught just a little bit of it recently, and I laughed. It was such a funny fucking scene. I don't know if you know any of the show.
Oh, I do. I've watched a bunch of episodes. I do find it really funny.
It was who's the principal? I can't remember his name.
I don't know most of the characters' names. I don't watch it that much, but
well, it was him and Monkey Chick, Miss Simeon. I do know her name, the teacher. They were about to get it on, and they weren't subtle about it. Like, she walked into the office and like fucking like they were Gumball. I forgot his fish friend's name. And the principal were talking, and they were gonna keep this hamster that was like on its last fucking legs.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode.
It looked dying. Yeah, and teacher comes in the room, and he's just like, "You romance now!" And then they started making weird fucking sounds at each other. He jumps into her arms.
Jesus Christ!
I'm just like, what is this?
That and when he was trained in the arts of the social justice warrior.
That was fantastic.
They have funny and relevant comedy in that show. I will not deny.
That is an example of a good show in modern times.
Yeah.
Because they just use that humor. They're not afraid to present it.
Yeah. And I think for the most part they do a good job with it.
They do. And even to some extent, like there was the League of Legs episode in Titans Go, I can admit that was pretty good.
Yeah.
As much as I hate the show, I can admit that was pretty good.
I think honestly, when it comes to Teen Titans Go, I think it's a terrible show. Not just because it's an insult to the original show. I think it's because they took the weakest part of the original show, which was the humor. The humor in the original show is like just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's terrible. But with the original show, it's here's the joke, no one laughed, move on. Like it was quick. And with Beast Boy, they at least made it so like the rest of the characters are kind of with, let's be honest, most of the audience, where it's like, oh, this kid's just fucking annoying, but we love him anyway. You know what I mean?
Occasionally there were some good ones.
Yeah, there was good ones here and there.
That wasn't the main focus.
Yeah, it was like usually when a joke didn't land, it could still be like, oh, this is just, them being cute. Like when Starfire didn't understand something, or if she's like spouting off some alien mumbo jumbo that makes no sense, where it's like, oh, the Gleep Glorps of Glomulon and some shit. It's at least like, okay, it's just a little bit of cute, not funny character trait. All right, well, whatever.
Are you being racist towards the Gromulans?
No, that's Glip Glops. Where my Glip Glops at? But yeah, it was very quick. It was like a Band-Aid, just quick and painless. It was here and it was gone. Teen Titans Go, it's the entire show.
But
it's all it is.
Like the thing with Teen Titans, the original one, it didn't have haha moments. It had
yeah,
where something happened on screen and you were just like, oh, and then like something else happened. You looked at that and you go, oh, and then something happens later on. Maybe a couple episodes later, you remember it. You're just like, oh, and then it's like,
yeah, and then there were like, okay, I think Teen Titans I think Teen Titans, the original show, would be. I think the only improvement I would make is make the majority of episodes serious ones, like get rid of the Mad Mod episodes,
Yeah.
for example.
I
Because
didn't mind
when
that
they
one,
do
but they were
serious,
dragging.
wait, which one?
Oh, the Mad Mods. I didn't mind them, but they were a bit dragging.
Oh yeah, the Mad Mod episodes are some of the worst. Cool villain concept though. Kind of evil techno wizard Austin Powers. That's a cool concept.
I always viewed him as like a different version of the Riddler.
Yeah, kind of British Riddler,
Yeah.
but kind of a mix of Riddler and Hatter. Okay, so
The Modeler.
the Modeler, the Mad Modeler,
The mid Mad Modeler.
Modeler powers. But when they did serious episodes, they did really well. Like the episode, one of
Red
my
X.
favorite example. Okay, the Red X episodes were really good. The stakes of, hey, I have these like nanomachines in your fucking friend's bloodstream. So Robin, you have to, become my apprentice, do all this evil shit for me, or I press this button and they all fucking die. Like, and if you tell them anything, I will press this button and make them fucking die. If you don't fight them, I will push this button and make them fucking die. Like, that was a good few episodes. That was awesome. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Red X. That was when he was officially his apprentice. But the Red X episodes were good too. When he was just trying to get closer to Slade, figure out more about him. Then there were the episodes with Tara. The Tara series was good.
The first bit of it was a little bit rocky, but then
Boo.
you got to see more of her character.
Boo.
An intentional pun. I'm gonna go hang myself. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you do that. What was another good one? Oh, another good one that's glossed over a lot. Obviously we have the thing with Raven where she's, when it goes more into where she came from. Like, that's cool shit. But the one I always liked with her.
Turn back.
Good God.
Turn back.
It's fucking scary.
Turn back.
Caught yourself.
But Jeff, you don't mind people being offended.
Well, I do mind my Twitch channel getting taken down. Okay, but the episode I think gets glossed over a lot was the one where she was falling in love with the spirit of the book. You remember that one?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's like the spirit of the book is like this ancient wizard that fought a dragon. She's fallen in love with them. She doesn't feel like anyone else understands her. But this guy, like, ancient ass book spirit wizard guy, she's kind of like, oh, this guy's he's a little closer to what I am. He understands what I am. He understands me. And the whole time he's taking advantage of her because really he's an evil dragon that is trying to get her and manipulate her to get him out of the book so he can like rule the world in some bullshit. And the show is like easily
in a book.
evil dragons. But the show, like the episode can easily be taken as like, this is a not so subtle analogy to, when girls get used by some dude that's just using them for what they want,
Unleash the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon, once they get what they want, the douches like that, they'll just throw you to the side so know who your friends actually are and try not to get taken advantage of so easily. You know what I mean? Like the analogy is pretty fucking, like, obvious looking back, but the episode itself was really cool. Then there was...
And Raven has her powers go out of control.
There was that, yeah.
Where she stops time on her birthday.
Ugh, yeah.
Or when her powers go out of control the first time, and she turns the Titans Tower into a horror show.
Oh, yeah. Like, shit from horror movies manifesting in real life.
Which, they did that episode really well.
They
because
did.
that's very unsettling to watch.
Mm-hmm. It's like, this is a turn.
When you don't know the twist, it's a bit of a turn, yeah.
Another good one. Like, not quite as good, not quite as memorable, but it was a serious episode that touched on a serious topic. Was the Starfire episode where they touched on racism.
Yeah.
Where they explain what the word trog is. It's like the Tamaranian N-word, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of funny because that's what Gantu calls Stitch in Lilo and Stitch. So it's just kind of like he's using the Tamaranian N-word. That's not cool. But yeah, in newer shows in general, getting back to the topic, newer shows in general, I mean, it varies from show to show. Some are shit, some are really good. I don't know, like modern shows I think are good. Oh, BoJack Horseman is a fantastic fucking show. It's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite animated show. Rick and Morty's pretty decent, though the fan base got really annoying really fast. What's another good one?
I don't know. I don't watch. Oh, hold on. Are we exclusively making this like cartoons or
Not
like shows in
necessarily.
general?
Hang on. How do you feel about modern? Oh, just modern shows. So like CW's The Flash is half decent. Like,
Because
when they do Flash
I'll
stuff,
be
it's
honest.
good. When they do
I'll be
the
honest, I don't watch TV often, so.
yeah, I don't either. TV's kind of. I mean, most people watch the shows online anyway.
Well, it's just like I only have a limited amount of time to do things throughout the day.
Same.
I do watch TV occasionally, but it's more like YouTube TV, or occasionally I'll watch episodes of a show. Like I recently caught up on Dragon Ball Super. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I don't take time out of my day to watch TV because I only have a limited amount of time to do stuff. And I have video games I like to play, and those games are like Second Life type video games, like
Right.
Ark Survival, for example. Takes a lot of time. I have put over 200 hours into the game already.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't. That, and after I came back from school one time, I just didn't watch a lot of TV. Like, I didn't think a lot of the shows were good. And again, the same issue. I didn't have a lot of time to watch it. But I do know there are good shows out there.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, for example. I've heard a lot of good stuff about that. Breaking Bad. Even Orange is the New Black wasn't terrible.
I haven't actually watched it. I've heard a lot of good things, but just looking at it wasn't my thing.
There are some episodes that are cringy, but overall it's not bad. I think you might like it. Take things with a grain of salt sometimes, but
I mean,
overall,
you get to see Donna from That 70 Show naked in like the first episode.
you do, and she plays a really good character. It's about her getting fucked over in a drug deal.
I mean, like even aside from boobies, like I really do like. I've only seen her in That 70 Show, but I really liked her in that.
She was good.
Yeah, she seems like the kind of actress that no matter what they're in, you're just kind of on board with them. Like, all right, I just like this. I just like them as a person, so I want to watch anything they're in. It seems like that kind of thing. Kind of, I kind of have the same thing with Chloe Moretz, who played Hit Girl.
I've not. What else is she in?
She is in Neighbors 2.
Not seen it.
Aiden and I watched Neighbors 1 just so we could watch Neighbors 2, just so we could watch her. Like that's how much we like her. God, what else was she in? Oh, she's been in a bunch of stuff. I just can't remember all of it. Mainly Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2. Those are the biggest roles in my opinion. She was in one of those movies about the girl getting cancer.
Ooh.
I can't remember which one. The young adult book films. One of those, or cancer is some kind of illness. And a tragic illness. Oh no. She starred in the movie. It was a Netflix exclusive, I think. It was a story about the woman that worked for some big newspaper, like the New York Times, maybe, where she had like some kind of brain inflammation that was like making her see and hear shit and go crazy. But, you know, no one could figure out what the hell it was for the longest time. So they thought it was a psychiatric issue, when really there's just a little inflammation in the brain that was causing some wonkiness to occur. Yeah, she was good in that. Honestly, I just like her.
Couldn't tell.
I think she's a decent actress, for sure. I think her stunts in Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2 are fucking amazing.
You know what?
Then I'll see videos of her, like, you know, like on whatever social media site, just like her flipping around ballad songs and shit. I'm like, oh, it's the thing. I like seeing her do that.
All right, let's see. Modern show. Oh, Supernatural. That's got a big ass following.
Huh.
American Horror Story.
Wait, these are things that
People
she's
always
in?
No.
Oh.
Just modern TV shows that
Ah,
are
I got you.
good. Not that I've watched, but that I think would be good. I've seen certain things of them.
Mm-hmm.
But American Horror Story, Breaking Bad, It's Always Sunny, Game of Thrones.
I can't watch It's Always
Let's
Sunny.
see. What else would we have? I wouldn't call Heroes modern, but it says 2006 to 2010. What would we consider modern?
Say anything after 2010.
Like, does it count for continuing shows or shows that have been made after 2010?
If they're still going.
Because there's also The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to watch that, but I think at this point it's just too far in.
I think at this point zombies have been done to death. And brought back. And now it's just shambling corpses.
Shambling.
See, Big Bang Theory? Ooh. Well...
That was 27. Or 2007, my bad.
Still going, though.
But it's still going.
Big Bang Theory, I have a complicated relationship with that show. First few seasons I liked, but after a while it's like, okay, like the joke is done, you know, just let it end. You know what I mean? Like, I think Wisecracked did a pretty good analysis of why the show isn't funny to most people, and it isn't so much. I don't know. Like, definitely watch the Wisecracked video on it if you're interested in that kind of thing. I found it entertaining for the first few seasons. Then after a while, it's just like, okay, just
Is it because
The-
something happens and then he has an over-the-top reaction because he's autistic?
No, not so much that. It's more like when it's not smart humor. Like, it's not something smart that's funny. It's more like, oh, he's saying something that's like super overcomplicated for this thing that we normal people would call something simple. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
sometimes
polysyllabic paragraphs to explain this one thing. Like, there isn't actually a joke there. Like, he's just explaining how something works, but you know, he's using big boy words. Like, it's not funny. Like, it worked for like a couple seasons, and it was fine. But after a while, it's just grating. And once your sitcom gets to the point where people are having kids, your show is over. That's a general rule for sitcoms. The second a new baby is getting involved, you're done. Your show's done. That's where it should end.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. Oh, did they do the new baby thing?
They might have.
I don't
can't
think they did. I think they always had the 3 kids. Like, the kids grew up and everything, and they dealt with like, oh, this kid's going through college, or this kid's driving a car and his car got stolen, stuff like that. And that show was all right. Like, it was like, it's definitely something I would sit down and watch. Just not so much because I find it like really funny or anything, more just because it's kind of a, I don't know. It's kind of one of those shows that's
on life.
It's like a comfortable show to watch. You know, it's kind of like cozy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of those kinds of shows. Whereas something like Married with Children, I'll laugh my ass off.
You know,
Oh,
the horrible thing about Home Improvement, before you read that comment,
yeah,
was when I saw the season finale and I just felt empty.
yeah. When you grow up with a show and it ends like that, all of them doing their final bow and shit, it's like, oh, that hurts.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh,
That's part of the reason why I don't get into TV shows, because I just can't handle that.
eventually they end.
It's such a hard feeling when you get into a show, or even games, like really, really good story games, and then you finally get to the end and you realize there is no more.
Yeah.
It's like, even Avatar, when that ended, it was just kind of like, oh god, there's nothing else.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think that's better than dragging it on for too long, though.
It is. It very much is. Like, you don't
Simpsons.
want to show... Yeah. I mean, you know what they're doing, though. They already said they're doing
Oh, yeah, they said they will run it into the ground as long as it makes money.
So, to be fair, that's still part of a running joke.
Yeah. They are their own joke.
But I'm talking to like things just completely overstaying their welcome, and shows do need a good ending,
They do.
which Avatar had. Everything
good.
was resolved. Everything worked out for the end. There were a lot of people that died, and that kind of sucks. But you know what? All the bad conflicts were resolved, and everyone lived happily ever after, except for the people who didn't.
Yeah.
But it's just like Home Improvement killed me, man.
Yeah.
It's not the same when a family show ends, because you get so invested into it. You get to know each and every character. You get to know their struggles. You go through them with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like they're gone.
Right.
They have officially died.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so it's kind of funny that I said Married with Children because Arthur says, I know this is breaking the rule for modern, but what do you think about Married with Children? I'm legit going to buy the complete series of Married with Children. 60 for Al Bundy is worth it. Married with Children is a fucking hilarious show. Like, every once in a while, I'll just look up a compilation of Al Bundy's insults, and they get me every fucking time. Like, you think there wouldn't be so many different ways to call someone fat. But there are. There are lots of creative ways to do so, and they're all fucking great. If anyone ever needs a good laugh, definitely look up a compilation of Al Bundy just insulting people.
It's great.
Oh, God. So good. All right, so I think that's going to do it. We're a little over 3.5 hours. I think that's a good length.
You think we're good?
Good length, fairly girthy. You know, not too much, not too little. All right, so I think we had a pretty good time with the crazy people. We had a good run with them. Let's see, who did we cover today? We had Vigilant Christian, who pretty much you watch like 3 minutes of his video and you've watched the whole video.
That's about all we did.
Yeah, no, I mean, that kind of goes with most of his videos, honestly. If you just watch a couple minutes of it, you get the idea. Like, everything else is pretty much just restating. Or he'll take like a million years to get to a point. One of the two.
Let that be said, don't do that.
Yeah, okay, a tip for people making videos. I know I'm not one to talk, but as a consumer, I can tell you that I click off videos so quickly when they do this. Don't spend the first minute or two of a video doing the whole, well, I didn't want to have to make this video, but so-and-so happened, and then I was thinking to myself, you know what, maybe I should make this video. Then I really had to think about it, and if you go through that shit, I'm already off. I'm off the video. That's terrible video making. Don't do that. You say, hey, this is the shit that happened. This is what I'm reacting to. All right, let's go. Just, your intro shouldn't be more than like 15 seconds.
And it's things like that that irritate me in college, because that's how essays do.
Ugh.
I figured that out recently. That's why I hated writing essays, because I am the kind of person that is like, all right, here's the point. Here are my thoughts about the point. I might occasionally run in a circle trying to get my train of thought back on the loop, but for the most part, it's just like, here's my point. Here's what I'm trying to talk about. Here's some facts about it, or here's what I know about it, and there you go.
Yeah,
it's done.
Get to the point.
Like, if it's a 15-minute video, it's like a huge discussion video. Most of the time, it's just going to be like a minute or two of, all right, here's your point, here's my counterpoint. There you go.
Right.
And I can't stand that with essays, because I'm constantly just like, I can finish this in like 3 sentences. Can I just do that? No, you got to extend it into like 5 paragraphs in 3 pages. Like, no.
Yeah, like if the length is coming from something like, you know, providing evidence for claims, that's one thing. But when you're just trying to stretch it out so it, like, you know, you see, so it looks better at first glance, like, oh, look at all these paragraphs. It looks so professional. You know what I mean? If that's the only reason you're stretching it out, then don't. Fucking terrible.
And I think we saw a decent amount of that in the Trump,
concise.
or not Trump. Fuck's his name? I can't remember the talk show host guy.
Alex Jones?
Thank you. I I think they did a lot of that in the article too, where it's just like, okay, he was taken off of every social media site for this, and he did this, so they took him off of all media sites, and then all these media sites are saying that he was taken off because he did this, so that's why they took him off the media sites, and it's like,
Yeah, it's a lot of
okay.
restating and everything. Well, I mean, they got to fit in as many ads as possible. And let's be honest, they don't really have a whole lot to talk about with that. At least not from the standpoint they're coming from, where it's like, oh, he should be deplatformed everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a lot of ground to stand on.
Well,
And
just like,
people don't
if you're gonna
typically.
make something, the hell's this?
I was just gonna say, people from that viewpoint don't typically have a lot of good arguments anyway. So.
No, but it's just like, if you're gonna bother to make something, what, like, you say what happened, and that's pretty much it. Like, here's what happened.
Right.
You're writing an article about what happened. You don't need to state your opinions. You don't need to do anything like that. It's just, here's what happened. Enjoy. And then
Yeah.
you put 4,000 ads on your page.
4,000 ads. Yeah, I still can't believe my computer was fucking. My computer was sweating, man. All right. So with that, I hope you guys had a good time during the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the crazy people. Hope you guys enjoyed learning a little more about G-Time Johnny's world. I really want to find excuses to watch more of his videos. So okay, so Logan, did you like the idea I had for the next show?
Oh shit, which one was that?
Look through the messages. I don't want to say it until I know if you're cool with it or not.
See that?
I just want to say I do have a bunch of videos for it.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't see a problem.
That'd be cool. All right.
I think so.
So next week we're going to be doing commercials and PSAs. We're going to be looking at a bunch of commercials and PSAs. Some of them like crazy and out there. Some of them completely fucked up. Some of them
Yes, I know the one you're thinking
hopefully unintentionally racist as hell. But yeah, I tried to find some ones that I haven't seen circulating everywhere forever. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to do the whole like, this is your brain on drugs, that shit. I'm trying to find ones that I haven't seen everywhere. I'm trying to find ones that like Nostalgia Critic hasn't done, for example. As many as I can, but still make them like fucking weird and worth talking about. And I guess for that show, the main crux of the discussion is going to be like how effective we think each one is after reacting to how fucking insane they are, of course. And yeah, we'll just talk about like the methods they're using, whether or not we think they're effective, and stuff like that.
All right, so I'm gonna say no. Because I'm gonna be completely honest. I was thinking about this today. Even I hate ads. Absolutely hate ads.
Well,
and it's more so to do with the fact that they put them on the video themselves. Like, I don't mind the 4,000 ads sitting off to the side of the screen.
Oh yeah.
Just don't put that fucking many on your website. If people can't load your website because of that many ads, you are losing people.
Well, I'm talking more about like TV commercials.
Yeah. I just wanted to say this point real quick.
Oh, just ads in general. Yeah, ads in general can be pretty annoying.
Well, it's like this morning when I was trying to watch a video, and back to back, two of the banner ads at the bottom of the video popped up, and I can't fucking stand that shit because they sit there for 30 seconds obscuring the video, and they have this tiny X on them that you have to click in order to get them off.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that shit. That nothing makes me not want a product more than obscuring, like, you're just putting it in my way.
Keep the ad off to the side.
Keep the ad off to the side. It'll still catch people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make the ad a video, because that eats up more people's data and bandwidth and makes them hate you more, because then they have the audio of that going on around in the background instead of their video. But
yeah.
Like, stop being mall vendors. Stop going out of your way to get in people's faces to be like, hey, check out this shit, because I'm immediately going to go, no.
I feel so bad for those people, too. You know they hate it as much as you do. But they still put on that fake-ass, over-excited smile to show you the new perfume that they, like, I don't know, got out of Mariah Carey's butthole or some shit. It's just like, all right, well, here's some here's some shit we squeezed out of a root and a fucking skunk. You know, it's got Mariah Carey's name on it, so you know, drink it or whatever you do.
Jeff, it's skunk root.
It's skunk root.
But okay, aside from a couple people, I do feel bad for them. I have been insulted by vendors,
Oh yeah.
and I don't fucking like when they do that shit. And also, I had a funny experience happen where I was walking around with a couple of my friends in the mall, and we did get stopped by them trying to show us these beauty products. And I was just like, "Oh no, we gotta go do this thing over here," you know, made up excuse. And one of my friends, fucking bleeding heart, goes to check them out, and I'm just like, "No!"
Oh no.
And I did not get roped into the conversation. I went upstairs and just stared at them for the next 30 minutes. And then when they came back, I said, "You are not allowed to talk to anybody if I am with you ever again." We still make fun of her about that, too.
Okay. So, all right, that being Logan's reaction to just knowing what the next topic's going to be, I think this will be a pretty decent one. If we can trigger that much of a conversation just from the concept, I think next show is going to be a pretty good one. It's going to be good.
Infomercials can be okay.
Yeah,
I just don't like the way commercials are done.
Well, it's save it for the show, man. Save it for the show.
No.
We're gonna you might like how some of these are done. You might like them.
Stop putting ads in my face, I'll punch you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. See you guys next time. My next stream, unless anything changes dramatically schedule-wise, Friday night is going to be more Legacy of Kain at 6 p.m. EDT. And then Saturday, 6 p.m. EDT, I think enough time has passed. I can go into it fairly fresh. Gonna do more Sonic 06.
Oh boy.
So if you want to see me suffer, I guess you can come watch me do that. I'm gonna need some emotional support in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it if some of you guys showed up for that, so I don't, hang myself.
If you weren't doing it during the days I work.
Part of me was tempted to do do a drinking game. Anytime the game pisses me off, take a shot, but then I'd be dead in the first few minutes. But the other part of me is like, maybe booze will make it better. I don't know. Maybe we can come up with some kind of funny challenge. Some kind of funny challenge for it. If you guys have any ideas, let me know.
Well,
I might do a donation goal for that episode.
Well, remember that Might and Magic stream you were gonna do?
I did end up doing that.
Yeah. Well, until it fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that.
You want me to make it so I can't talk shit about Sonic 06?
Just for an episode.
Ah. I don't know, man.
How's that mayonnaise doing? Has it still been sitting out?
I don't know, man. I don't want to... Like, part of me is like, that would be a legitimate challenge. The other part of me is like, a lot of the fun of a Sonic 06 stream comes out of making fun of it.
What days do you do Sonic 06?
It's going to be Saturday, 6 p.m. EDT.
Yeah, I work. Fuck.
All right. Well, anyway, see you guys next time. Have a good night.
See ya.
Have you seen my lemons? I want my lemons.
What the fuck?